Boom. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's really good to be back after a week off. Was on vacation last week, so thank you all for joining me for my big triumphant return. No snacks allowed for a week. Oh, a stomach bug? That's no fun. Well, at least you get your systems all reset and everything. I always feel like $100 after a stomach bug. My system gets all cleared out and everything, and then I'm like ready to go. And then after another week, I'm just filling myself full of bad food again, and starts the cycle over. Anyway, yeah, Hanzo is all dressed up and in front of the Temple of Mara. What's going on here? Well, Hanzo has made a name for himself in Skyrim. He has found a way to fight on his own terms for what he believes in, and he's found a place in Skyrim where he can earn a whole bunch of fortune and glory for doing so. He has become the harbinger of the companions. He has a great manor set up in Lakeview in Falkreath. He's got all this great stuff, except for somebody to share it with. So he, during his travels, he had met somebody, specifically someone in Markarth, and we will see who very shortly here. But like all men of violence, he's gonna find that that peace is short-lived. But we'll get to that soon. All right. So in the chat, we got Magus, we got the End King. We got Haster, welcome. We got Caladran looking for a snack. Who else? Did I miss anybody? Big Head, welcome, buddy. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing great. It's been a while since I was able to stream Skyrim with you all, so I've been looking forward to this for a while. Also made a lot of progress with Scorpion here, Mr. Hanzo Hazashi. Ooh.
Let's begin the ceremony. It was Mara that first gave birth to all of creation and pledged to watch.
Hold on, let me reload this. I got an animation bug there. Better a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Hey.
Here's
Here you
the
go.
proud groom now.
What the heck is going on here? Oh, here we go. Now he's going back. Oh, it's all these pilgrims in the way.
Gave birth to all of creation and pledged to watch over us as her children. It is from her love
I
of us
playtested this like 6
first
times.
learned to
There we
love
go.
one
Get
another.
out of the way, doofus.
From
This is my
love,
wedding
we
day.
learned that a life lived alone is no life at all. We gather here today under Mara's
go.
loving gaze to bear witness to the union of two souls.
Ben Bradley.
in eternal companionship.
How you doing, buddy?
May they journey
I missed
forth
you guys,
together
too.
in this life and in the next, in prosperity and poverty.
Look at that beautiful
Joy.
blushing bride over there. Hey, that
Do
took
you
some work
agree
to
be
set up,
bound
I'll tell you what.
together in love, now and forever?
Is that a
I
dig
do.
at gardeners?
Now and
A
forever.
dig at
Do
gardeners?
you agree
I see
to
what
be
you did
bound
there.
together in love, now and
It's usually
forever?
gardeners doing the digging. I do, now and forever.
the
So,
authority
on
of
one of his
Mara,
trips
the
to
divine of love,
Markarth,
I declare this couple to be wed. I present the two of you with these
curiosity
matching
got the
rings,
better of him. He
blessed
is
by
a
Mara's
young, hot-blooded
divine
male,
grace.
right? Being like a
May they
warrior,
protect each of you
more
in
muscles
your
and
new life
brains, all that. So he was
This is the
curious
happiest
about
day
the
of my
Temple
life.
of Dibella. He had
Where
heard
should
things.
we live? My home is your home.
And Senna, of course, is a priestess of Dibella. Yeah, marriage, but like very focused on the good stuff, you know? Likewise, Senna's probably got more looks than she's got brains. They're both very young. They don't know the world at all. But they're both good people, right? They both love each other very much. And they're not thinking with their brains right now, but, you know, they're both fairly smart, capable people. So I like to believe that they're going to figure things out, right? No. Let's live. I have a beautiful manor in Falkreath. It looks over the lake. Let's move there.
I'll see you at home then. Don't keep me waiting.
Oh, I'm going to be in a dead sprint all the way home, you know. Honeymoon time. A Bushido quote? I like it. Excuse me. Yeah, so what I had to do was I had to propose to Senna to kick off the marriage quest. And then I used Nether's follower framework to add her as a follower so that I could create that default outfit for her. And then once that was done, I was able to release her, not from the framework as a follower, but just say, alas, it's time for us to part ways. And then I was able to continue on with the marriage quest line, and everything seems to work. So the outfit that I gave her, I don't remember what the dress was called, but then there was like that flower crown on there as well. All this stuff is from Divine Elegance, even Hanzo's outfit. So I am not dressed up in any of my gear. So I'm just going to fast travel all the way back to Lakeview Manor. Now, Senna says not to keep her waiting in the most sultry voice possible. So of course Hanzo is going to like use his Redguard infinite stamina to just sprint all the way back. But she actually takes like a full 24 hours to get here. So what I'm going to do is wait that full 24 hours here. And we'll make sure to pray to Lecky to make sure that we don't lose much favor for doing the full thing. I already have I Need disabled because I was focused more on the gameplay side of things for this one. But now that I've gotten the playthrough to the point where I'm able to start a new chapter, we'll start transitioning back to the roleplay. I don't know. I can't be bothered to do the I Need stuff anymore at this point. I've not prayed in a while. There we go. And I'll give you guys the full tour of the place here. It looks like we got a lot of people running around. There are a lot of fledgling warriors that have come to Hanzo for guidance and mentorship. And I'll talk you through each one of those. And I've used Nethers to set up standard default outfits for all them too, so they have a little bit more personality. Oh yeah, there she be. Our brand new bride. And kind of a little love nest here. Very nice, huh? Alright, everybody down there, if you hear Senna screaming, it's not because she's in pain, it's because it's the opposite. Okay, just giving you guys a warning. Don't bother us. Alright. So we are going to stay in bed for a full 12 hours because that's what newlyweds do, right? Only 12? Well, you know, it would probably be a full week if we're honest and we're just ordering room service, but
I wanted to give you this.
Fate is not so kind to Hanzo, sadly. We'll go over that in a second, but first, where's our new wife? I want to give her the tour of the house that we're going to be sharing now that we've completed the tour of each other's bodies. Ooh, getting spicy already, huh?
I've seen bigger houses, but it's yours.
Oh, you've
so
seen
I like
bigger,
it.
huh?
Now, I think I need something to do if you're ever away.
She says
so I'll
I've
be
seen
opening
bigger.
a store.
Doesn't he have to die if yeah, he does have to die. Right? You can't make this stuff up. Oh, now I got a bee on my face. Great. Follow me.
Lead the way.
All right, so Senna with the flowers on her head, she is a bit of an alchemist, and I think she's going to love the greenhouse here. Actually, for gameplay purposes, I've got this all set up with the Uber potion ingredients, the Dragon's Tongue, Fly Amanita, and Mora Tapanella. Not really that useful for Hanzo because he's a one-handed fighter, not a two-handed fighter, but we are able to use this to level up our alchemy skill, even though it's not a core skill. I haven't put any perks into it. It is very useful to have this at 100 for any kind of potions you might want to craft. That will it's free buffs for any class, any build. So I highly recommend alchemy to 100 with everybody. It helps get our alchemy skill to 100, but it also sells for a lot of money. Let's see if I have a batch ready to go here. Yeah, it gives you this regenerate stamina potion. And if your speech is at level 100, you're going to get, you know, probably better than 1,500 gold for each potion. It's crazy. This is how he's been funding this whole Shirai Ryu temple. Shirai Ryu temple is what he calls it. It's actually the Lakeview Manor homestead. But the business operations are from these potions, these warriors potions that we can sell. And we also get a bit of tuition from the students that we have here. Mercurio was one of them. He was very impressed with our Hellfire abilities, which Scorpion really isn't supposed to get access to until he fights his way out of Hell. But for, you know, just leveling purposes and stuff, I needed to take that on sooner. But anyway, Mercurio was impressed with our grasp of the pyromancy ways. He came to learn from us, and he became our steward. So he's got this cool Avalok black robes that he's wearing, along with Orgnum's dagger there. But you can see that he has the yellow headpiece that all students of the Shirai Ryu are required to wear. In fact, Scorpion actually wears that too, as sort of an homage to his past life. But we'll get there. Senna isn't part of the Shirai Ryu. She is just madly in love with Hanzo. And that's okay. So she's just going to be basking in the glory of that wedding dress for a while, I think. She may eventually switch into something a little more utilitarian if she's going to be doing the alchemy and stuff. Raya, I've put in the Black Knight armor. She looks good in that. I've got that all enchanted up for her and everything. And again, the yellow headpiece, that's indicative of her Redguard culture still. But the correct, it allows her to keep a certain aspect of her personality, which I think is important for all these students. But still needs some kind of symbol of membership of the Shirai Ryu. And I don't think that's really all that necessary, but for aesthetic purposes, lore purposes, and just a callback to where this character comes from. I think stylistically it's pretty cool to have. And then we have Gore here, who has actually helped us a lot in the past through the now defunct Let's Play series. He's got his sort of barbaric armor that he's wearing, but with the yellow cowl. And Zora as well, with the yellow cowl. Spent extensive time with each of these students, which has been great. Oh, Senna, you're not going to be able to go where we're going. I'm sorry, baby. And then here we go. We got a garden over here with all the uber ingredients. Dirty Debellin harlot. If you catch my drift. Thrust of freedom. Are you using any mods that affect alchemy? No, I am not. I have extensive experience with CACO, enough experience to know that I prefer the vanilla system better. I like some of the things that CACO adds, but I like knowing what ingredients do what. CACO adds a lot of different alchemical effects and changes a lot of the vanilla ingredients and also adds a lot of its own. But I tend to think that the vanilla system is strong enough. Maybe it's a little too strong, but I like knowing everything. I actually really like the bombs from CACO. If I could get those in a separate mod, which I probably can, that'd be great. Or have a favorite. CACO was great if you want to explore new stuff. That's really the only one that I have ever done outside of Hunterborn, which just adds things. It doesn't change anything. But there's another one that's like Apothecary or something like that I've never used. Yeah, Magus agrees with me about vanilla and CACO. For those who don't know, Ryu can be translated to family or root. Also, if written with a different kanji letters, can also be translated as dragon. Yes. It does too much. It does, and it's a patching nightmare as well. It does a lot of really cool things. I like the stuff that it adds. It plugs in some holes, some things missing from alchemy, but in my opinion, vanilla alchemy is deep enough. It doesn't need any added depth, and CACO, it just, yeah, like Maga said, it does too much. Okay, so we also have the armory wing over here. This is where we keep some of the more interesting armors that we use. And it's not very stocked up right now, but I'm hoping that the students will help me stock this place up with new and interesting weapons that we can all benefit from learning and using and fighting against, so that we're more prepared when we go into real battle in the real world, you know? And there's a nice little training area right up here, and you know, we have the whole woodland area to train in. But we have some targets for archery. We have like a little sparring area with just some flat tiled ground out here. So yeah, I imagine like some students out here, you know, practicing their sword sparring or hand-to-hand combat or whatever. Also, I think oils might include throwables. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I know that Ordinator adds the combustible oils that you can drop, but I don't know that CACO adds the throwable oils. They have the bombs for sure. It's been so long since I've used it. Okay, and then we have a trophy room here. All of the interesting creatures and other things that we have fought on our journeys. Basically, this was just the materials that I had on hand. The trophy wing of Hearthfire gives you a lot of different options for a lot of different trophies. I was just kind of trying to get to the end of getting this place all set up, and I just used the stuff that I had on hand or stuff that I could find. Oop, made a mess.
You always brighten my day a little. Here, I hope you like
Oh, well, I have something for you too, Senna.
this. Is there some way I can assist you? It's the least.
So she's wearing a silver sapphire necklace. She had that with her when we met. When I made her a follower the first time, this was in her inventory and she was wearing it. I happen to have a ring of a silver sapphire ring in my inventory at the time, so I was saving that to give her to match her necklace there. Now she's going to be wearing the Bond of Matrimony because it has a more valuable enchantment on it, but so yeah, that's the full tour. Pretty simple, I think, but everything that, you know, Senna and Hanzo need, and space for not many students, but a few very talented students. Raya coming with us. She's actually our house Carl. She's the newest addition to the household, and I'm going to be taking her with us on our journeys forthcoming, just to tutor her in ways that I've tutored the other students in the past, but have not really had a chance, and we got to evaluate her fighting style and what we can do. Wow, you are not dressed for the smelter, Senna, but I like it. Not afraid to get her hands dirty, if you know what I mean. All right, so the next chapter of this is like, okay, Hanzo is the happiest he's ever been in his life. These two are so excited to, you know, start their lives together. They don't have children yet, but it's not for lack of trying. That's something that they would like. Now, we are in Falkreath, right? And we know that Jarl Siggeir has, he's kind of shady. He's kind of sleazy, right? He's also involved with the Empire. And people in leadership who have way more ambition than they have skill, wisdom, or talent, they tend to try to leverage fear and other power moves against people with the skill, wisdom, or talent in order to hoist themselves up on their shoulders and move upwardly mobile on their effort. So, Siggeir, being the sleazeball that he is, sent a letter to Hanzo just now, saying that, you know what, if you don't fight for me, if you don't represent me and fight for me in the Civil War on the side of the Imperial Legion, I am going to repossess your home, your property. So that means Gore is out of a home. Raya is out of a home, and he's going to revoke our Thainship as well. So Raya is out of a boss. She's on her own. Senna, our new wife, now doesn't have a home. I guess she could move back to Markarth, but all of a sudden, Hanzo finds himself in a predicament, in a situation where it's not just him against the world, it's him protecting these other people against an awful world. So he feels like he's between a rock and a hard place, and he's being conscripted into a war, which is the very reason why he fled Hammerfell to begin with. I almost said Redfall because of those rumors for so long. This was the very reason that he fled Hammerfell in the very beginning, is because he was being forced to fight for causes which he, not so much that he didn't believe in, but that he was being kept from. He was asked to fight blindly for leadership that wasn't going to tell him anything. I feel like it's a lot like how the draft dodgers and people who fled the country during the Vietnam War drafts felt. Doesn't necessarily mean that they were cowards or bad people. It's just that it was a fight that maybe necessarily they didn't know enough to believe in, at least for some of them. So he has no choice. He feels like he's got to grant Sidgeir this request, or else he loses everything that's not just his, but belongs to everybody else that's important to him. Okay, see you, Ben. Sorry you couldn't stay around more. Throwing weapons light includes bombs. Yeah, but I felt like CACO did it better, in my opinion. I thought that just the that small feature of that large mod did a better job than throwing weapons light did, being completely focused on throwing weapons. I don't know, that was my opinion. Maybe I gotta look at it too. Yep, okay. Caught up. So now you guys are caught up too. Now it's time to switch back out into our new gear. We have some Imperial gear that I kind of smithed up and enchanted off stream. A lot better than the stuff that we were wearing. Not quite our end game stuff yet, but it's very, very close. This is what we're going to be using to fight through. Sorry, I gotta get all my wedding stuff off. There we go. Now somehow all of this lost its favorites. Gotta get all that set up again. I'll do that outside. Senna, you here with me? She'll probably try to follow us. Think your wife is following you? Yeah, she is. I'll make sure that she's not when we go to Solitude. Let's see. Let's get our weapon hotkeys set up here. Make sure that our katana is showing. Make sure that our whip is showing. And make sure that our Tonto is showing. There we go. Now we're all armed up and ready to go. Okay. Alright. Senna, I know...
What do you need, love?
You do not want to leave me, but... I have to do this for us and everybody else at Lakeview, at the Shiraryu Temple. So it's time for us to part ways, but I promise we'll see each other again soon, okay?
I understand. Take the world by storm, dearest.
Ah, she's a good one, isn't she? Alright, Gunyar. We are going to Solitude to report to Legate Rika. Nope.
Oh, steady.
Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed story time there. Now we're gonna get back into slashing, burning, blasting, whipping, and zipping around the battlefield. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that Scorpion would be a little more popular, but both the Stiger and the Nemesis have been much more popular in terms of views, and whenever I put a poll up on the community post about which you want to see, Scorpion is always the least popular. Ooh, whenever I see Khajiit Caravan, I always want to pick that up. And I think that's maybe because most people tuning in for seeing some Scorpion action in Skyrim probably weren't betting on getting a whole roleplay story series, right? And I think I took some missteps during the whole Let's Play thing. It was more of a narrative, like, story thing than it was an actual Let's Play, so I think that was probably misadvertised a little bit. I think if I had it to do over again, I'd probably just focus on the end game stuff and not the story of how Hanzo becomes Scorpion, even though that to me was like the most interesting part of the whole playthrough. Yeah, I don't know, maybe some missteps. Skyrim content is greater than other lore in Skyrim, and okay, just how I've seen it with most creators. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's ideas that I think are novel and interesting, but maybe that's not always the case for other people who are just into Skyrim, right? And I think people who are interested in maybe seeing Mortal Kombat stuff in Skyrim are probably just more interested in the gameplay and not really the roleplay stuff, right? Say you do you, just along for the ride. Yeah, no, I will. I mean, I'm not going to be doing stuff that I don't want to because that's what the audience wants to see. I'm just more so experimenting on what works for the channel, and even if it's not going to cause like a change in what I'm doing, I still find it interesting, right? Just on a purely like scientific level.
I hope that you will come to do business with us again.
Yeah, those ingredients that you find, I think they're as part of Rare Curios, the AE extra content, the free stuff that you got from that. Those ingredients are all very, very powerful. They have much higher amplitudes of when you actually craft potions out of them. You're going to get a much stronger potion out of them than you are most vanilla ingredients. So those are always worth buying, even if they're a little bit more expensive. All right, gonna lurk. I'm working on some mods. Awesome. Well, good to have you around, Mr. B. I just do my own thing without even worrying about my channel at all. If I'm not enjoying it, others aren't either. When I am, they can tell. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am right now too, right? But the thing that I'm interested in is learning the YouTube game. I want to know if it becomes a nice little side hustle for me, and something that I don't have to put full-time effort into. My work machine is, I'm just getting a lot of right clicks on stuff. If it becomes a side hustle, that's cool. Right now, in order to grow the channel, I have to put like full-time effort into it, and I just don't have time for that, so I'm just having fun with it. But I'm also very interested in it. I have a very curious mind and a very scientific way about going about things. So I've just been fascinated by the analytics and just like what the audience is into. What the audience is into is what I am interested in right now. But it's not going to like affect like what kind of build that I play, what kind of playthrough that I do, my play style, the type of content that I have. I'm just gathering information right now. That's what I'm into. And I've been having a ton of fun playing this guy. So the tool set of this guy is just freaking amazing, right? It's very diverse. There's a lot of really fun stuff that you can do in terms of combat. He's highly mobile, which is extremely fun. Mobile characters are probably my favorite. in terms of combat focused characters in Skyrim, and there are some mods that enable really cool movement. But that's where I'm at right now. That'll probably change once I kind of get sick of the newness of the analytics part of it wears off. I'm just gonna go back to doing me, just like you do, Magus. I've discovered that some people don't have a mind for crossovers. If you say Batman in X setting, they can't conceive of anything but the most literal interpretation.
I'll meet you there as soon as I finish up.
I see. Yeah, I know some people. I call those people purists, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Don't wait for me.
But people who, especially comic books, there are comic book purists all over the place, and Batman's a big one of it. But like things like the Ultimates, which was a sort of a reboot and a reimagining of the Avengers, it was very awesome. I liked it a lot, but a lot of people didn't. They thought it was just a cheap knockoff, a cheap modern knockoff of an old classic, and they just preferred to go with the old classic. Or the Ultimate X-Men, I thought was really awesome. I like that better than the long-running mainline series. And people do it with movies all the time. Sometimes okay, so with movies, if they do a reinterpretation of the original, it's usually really bad, but sometimes it's pretty good. And I don't mind the effort. I don't mind somebody trying to do a fresh take on something like the Batman. It was way too long. I couldn't watch the whole thing in one sitting because it just didn't move fast enough. But there was a lot of good stuff there. It was a fresh take. I thought it was a young take, which I'm always interested in seeing. Youth fascinates me. A lot of it, I don't get it, right? But a lot of old people who don't get youth, it turns into like angst and anger. But for me, it's like fascinating. It's like, what are these terms you're using? Where does it come from? What does it mean? And it sounds silly, but it's also like fascinating to me.
Need a ride?
The world changes in fascinating ways, and you can allow it to scare you and make you angry, or you can buckle in, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the ride, right?
Oh, steady.
Doesn't always change for the better. Sometimes it does. It's up to you how you roll with it, I guess. Tom Mole, welcome. I'd say most get invested in a character or type of and want to see progression from level 1 on up so they can follow along. Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with Scorpion here. I wanted to tell the story of Hanzo. People just weren't into it, and maybe it's the aversion to crossovers that the Yen King mentioned, or maybe it's like Skyrim people seeing Scorpion stuff thinks it's going to be like a paper thin, okay, I'm just going to import some harpoon mods into my gameplay and maybe like an old Scorpion outfit. I don't think that the Skyrim roleplay people expected a roleplay series this deep coming from a Mortal Kombat character. So it probably turned off a lot of Skyrim players right off the bat.
Glory only awaits those who triumph.
And then Mortal Kombat people saw that this was like there was a lot of roleplay here, and that I'm not actually playing as Scorpion through a lot of it. We're like, dude, no Scorpion, clickbait type of thing, you know? So I don't know, I was trying to appeal to too many people, and I think what happened was I ended up like making concessions on both sides instead of trying to be everything to everybody, which is fine. I'm still having fun with it, which is what matters, and I'm still going to be forcing this stuff down your throats because I really kind of want to get the Scorpion build guide out and this series capped off before Starfield comes out. And that's because I think I need to uninstall Mortal Kombat 11 in order to make room for Starfield on my disc. And I need Mortal Kombat 11 installed.
All right, hand over your valuables, or I'll gut you like a fish.
I don't have time for this.
Don't you walk away from me.
Oh, no, you don't.
Too easy. Yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I think I need to uninstall Mortal Kombat 11 in order to play Starfield, but I need Mortal Kombat 11 installed in order to get some of the footage I want for that build guide. And I think the build guide is going to do really, really well if people aren't already averse to seeing Scorpion on my channel in ways that they don't like. Starfield is requiring at least an SSD. A lot are going to have to upgrade their gear. Yeah, absolutely. Well, to be honest, though, if you're trying to game off of an HDD these days, I don't think that it's fair to expect that all the new games are going to work on it, right? It might be fine for older games with older technology, but yeah, I don't think it's fair to expect that developers can get these new games with all this new graphical technology to work on such an antiquated piece of technology, especially when it bottlenecks so hard and something so important as data transfer rates from hard drive to memory to GPU. That's like a very fundamental thing that is going to cause a really hard bottleneck if you don't have enough of it, right? And SSDs are not expensive. You can get a smaller one for, I think, under $100 these days, which is not a super expensive upgrade. But BGS games are usually pretty good at like being able to finagle the INI settings in order to, you know, get like a sort of demake look almost on older hardware. I mean, 2023, you should have an SSD for these kinds of games. Yeah, that's kind of where 1 terabyte's only $45. Yeah, that's way cheaper than even I thought. That's like less than the cost of a new game. Super late, just finished house dog sitting and getting all my dog stuff. Oh yeah, Mad Adam, good to see you. So Mad Adam does have a YouTube channel of his own. I would encourage you to go check that out. He's got a real knack for the Let's Play. I have to say his commentary is very well paced and very, I want to say like smooth, for lack of a better term. He's got the temperament and the talent for commentary, I think. Now, that being said, I think that he has mentioned that his load order has gone kaput. And he's got to rebuild that, so he's got a couple episodes of his Dunmer in Solstheim. It's not going anywhere because he had to cancel the Let's Play early.
There's a cave.
But if you're looking for Skyrim Let's Play content, you could do a lot worse. And I think it's very impressive also to be able to do that kind of commentary in a Let's Play, being so green to the whole thing, right? Not having a lot of experience with, you know, like the tools and the thumbnails and the platform and everything, is okay if you know the game really well and you can talk about it in a way that makes sense to people and that they can follow. That's half the battle right there. Oh, starting this week. That's awesome. Yeah, we all heart Dunmer. Dunmer was my first love as far as Elder Scrolls characters. The first Elder Scrolls character, I played hundreds of hours in Oblivion. He was a Dunmer because I read the lore on all the not classes, the races.
I like the looks of this place.
My first character ever was a Dunmer Spellblade. And the way that leveling works in Oblivion, I had to keep scaling down the difficulty because of how I was spreading out skills too much, because I wanted that guy who was jumping around shooting flames and slashing people.
These old ruins,
much like Scorpion does, actually. But spreading your skills too thin in Oblivion is a death sentence for your build, right?
No matter what stands in our way, right?
Stormcloaks were already out around the entrance when we got here. They don't know
Oh,
which.
great. Yeah. All right, so I'm not using as much of the blade at the moment because every single major core skill for this class is tapped out. Well, except for one-handed and block needs some help, that's for sure. But the one that needs the most help right now is destruction. That's the slowest leveling one. Actually, now that I've seen that my block and one-handed are also pretty low, I'm going to be working on them too. But I'm going to be using a lot of destruction, just trying to get that up, and also trying to get my forgotten magic spells leveled up to the point where they're end game ready.
Looks like the damned rebels got here first. No matter, we have the element of surprise. Prepare to move out.
Okay, I'm ready, ma'am.
Follow me.
Now,
Listen
Hanzo
up,
is going to
Those
fall in
stormcloaks are
line
here for the same
as a
reason
soldier,
we are.
right?
Ulfric,
His
the
beef is not
pretender, wants
with
that
Legate,
crown.
Rika,
But
and
we're not going to let
Hadvar,
him have it.
and maybe not even
I realize
Tullius. Well,
some
yeah,
of
maybe
you
a little
may
bit
know
with
them
Tullius.
on the other side. But
But his beef
this,
isn't with the soldiers,
they
it's
are
with
the enemy now,
leadership
and will
not being transparent
hesitate to
enough
end
about
your
what they're
lives
doing
either.
and why
General
they're doing
Tullius
it,
is counting on us to bring
and
back the
giving
Jagged
the
Crown,
soldiers
and
the
that's
choice
exactly what we're
of
going
whether
to
or not they
Let's
agree
show these rebels what
with
real
the
soldiers
fundamental
do.
reasons why they're fighting. They're just expected to be blind weapons, unthinking, unfeeling weapons, and not thinking, feeling people with souls and thoughts of their own. Sorry, Raya. That's all part of your training.
Well, that's taken.
That's some slick shooting by Mr. Hazashi there, huh? Kaboom, kaboom. Gotta love it. Money is still very important to this character at this point. There will become a point where we're gonna have all the gold and more that we ever wanted or could ever spend, but that time is not now. We still use money for Grand Soul Gems for enchanting. We still use money for building out. I still need to finish the basement in Lakeview. So building materials can also be expensive. That bearish, the birdish looks pretty cool. I think I have that hooked up to halberd animations from Animated Armory. So you'll be seeing me loot some of the more expensive stuff.
They never knew what hit them. But don't underestimate the Stormcloaks. Many are Legion veterans.
Oh, are
They
you
may
talking
be
about
traitors,
that?
but they know how to fight.
That
We had
big
the
leap I
advantage of
took?
surprise this time, but don't expect it to last. Let's move out.
Oh, it took me a week to get everything in place. 470. Yeah, no, the last time I had to redo my Skyrim install was when I think I was trying to use a Fallout 4 Wabbajack, and it completely wiped out my MO2 thing. So not doing that again. In fact, I thought about
Be
wiping out
careful
my
around the burial stones.
Fallout 4 Wabbajack profile that I have to make room for Starfield, and I was like, no, it's gonna destroy my it's gonna destroy my Skyrim profile again. All right,
Everybody ready? We charge on my signal.
you slackers. I'll take care of this myself.
For the Empire! You want to go? Victory. For now.
This will give you a pretty good
Stay
preview
and guard
of
the
what
entrance.
Forgotten
We don't want any
Magic
Stormcloak
Pyromancer
reinforcements
looks like. If
taking
you're doing a
this by
pure
surprise.
Pyromancer
Everyone
Forgotten
else
Magic build,
with me.
this is something that you can look forward to. Now, I'm going to be using the playstyle of I'm going to be using destruction spells and Phoenix Strike as much as possible to level up those spells with with Forgotten Magic. Get those perk points for them. And then once I've depleted my magicka, then I'll switch to unarmed or one-handed. Probably one-handed in this case. Dragons are going down easier. I don't know how many of you all remember the how long it took to fight that ancient dragon.
I don't like the look of this.
In the last time I streamed
10 to
Scorpion
1,
here.
they're just waiting for us on the other side.
But they've gotten a little easier now that I've leveled up Destruction a little bit more. I've gotten some perks that reduce
I'd rather take a moment
fire resistance in a stacking manner, so the more you hit them with fire spells, the less resistant to fire they become. And also kind of just refined the playstyle on that a little bit. Instead of Fire Blast, I'm using Conflagrate now, which is a higher level spell. It does kind of the same thing. Who wants some? There you are. Oh, Raya.
Be careful, men.
Yeah, you can tell with like the Phoenix Strike, the dodge rolls, and Shadow Dance that Scorpion is a very, or Hanzo at this point, Hanzo is a very mobile warrior, more so than any other character that I've ever played, except for maybe the Shadow Ninja coming in at a close second. Actually, the Shadow Ninja was probably a little more mobile. He had things like Laughing Ghost, which teleports you behind your enemy as like a major power. And I also had Double Jump hooked up to Shadow Dance, which really got him through the air very quickly using that spell.
Is this what killed that Stormcloak over there?
Hey, GG. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are doing well.
Steady now. The Legion
Oh, you said the same thing. Hope you are all doing well, man. Well, we have the same sentiment. I was home just dog sitting 3 dogs plus my own. Took about 24 at 5 hours to get the consistency back. Oh, jeez. Oh, Draugr. Let you guys finish them off.
That'll teach you the close way.
There you go. Ultimate healing, we can always use those. Ultimate healing potions are always going to be better than the stuff that you can craft yourself because it always fully replenishes your health. There's no value to it. Well, I think technically there's a value of like 999999999 or something like that. And I just found it sounded like a very disagreeable German just now. 9999999. But yeah, even if you're all the way leveled up on alchemy and you got all the perks and everything, you're never gonna get a health potion that's as good as an ultimate healing potion. Where the hell is Rika? You fools. Do I have the claw here? Did I pick it up? Oh yeah, ebony dragon claw. Fox, moth, and dragon. That should do it. Fly, you fools. Yes. Doing pretty well. That's good. Have you been streaming anything lately, GG? Sorry, I've been so busy at work this week, and I was out on vacation last week, that I have not been able to keep up with the community as well as I'd like. And I see that Magus has also started a new playthrough. Dunmer, as he said. Haven't been able to catch one of those streams, but Magus also just recently upgraded to a new system, which is, I think he went with the 4070 Ti, which is a beast of a card. Kind of looking forward to catching another stream when I can to see the improvements. Actually, you probably won't see much on Twitch because I think we're kind of stuck at whatever resolution and frame rate that the internet wants to facilitate at that moment. Much like my stream, I mean, I'm at 120 frames per second, but I have the transmission capped at 30 frames per second and 1080p, I think, even though I'm running at 1440p, you know, 120 frames per second. You guys don't get to see that because the internet is the bottleneck on that one. Upload speeds. It is funny that in 200 years, especially in Skyrim, they turn their backs to the clever men, women, mages, and instead they rely more on bronze and weapons. Yeah, funny how with the Nords, thinking kind of became taboo, I guess. Replaced with superstition and angst against magic. I would like to do a clever man build, though. The aesthetic on that is really cool. Like a spell blade, maybe unarmored with like the archmage robes. Give him a big old beard, a war axe, and a stave in the left hand, staff in the left hand. Haven't streamed anything this week besides Stardew with PC. That's what I was thinking of. Yep. You and PC Outcast are doing the Stardew stuff. That's cool. I've never played that game. Really? You guys, are you doing anything? Okay, so defense is still, I wouldn't say it's a weakness. We're not at the armor cap. This is about what we're going to get with our end game gear too. Without having any perks in smithing or perks in alchemy that allow us to boost up our smithing or our smithing enchantments to the point where we can get to the armor rating with light armor, this is about the best we're going to do. The Nemesis was able to surpass the armor rating just through his enchanting and alchemy synergy. Even though he wasn't doing any smithing at all, he took smithing up to level 100 and had the steel smithing perk, which helped. But we don't have that with Hanzo. So armor rating goes up to like 400 something, and then we have ebony flesh hooked up to Okado's recital to help make up the difference a little bit. Oh, okay, now we are out of magicka. Let's... Oh, I think I stumbled. Come on then, buddy. Where are you going? Stop trying to hit me and hit me. There we go. I'll be filming, uploading a new Dunmer ASLAL alternate start. Raven Rock this week. Will probably be up Friday. Nice. Looking forward to it. Transmits up to 1080p on mine. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. 1080p. Better internet. If I had better upload speeds, I'd be able to do, you know, 60 frames 1080p or even 60 frames 1440, but it's not the reality of the situation right now. Do the Nords have an Odin figure in their mythology? Well, I would probably something like Shor, but he's more of a warrior god. He's still like the king of all the gods, though. looks like the crown right there, huh? Looks like he's wearing a crown and a helmet. It's probably like some kind of overhaul mod or something I got going.
Hey, I found a crown over here on this corpse.
Yeah, don't trust it.
Where are you?
Well, these guys are tougher than everybody else we've faced so far.
Straight of you off that drogger.
Ooh, Ebony Glaive. This would probably go well with a new member of the Shirai Ryu at some point.
Take that crown. Back to Solitude, soldier. We'll stay here and see if we can find anything else that could be of use.
Alright, sounds shibby. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Whoa, okay. With the new character build, I will actually use a follower for a whole 30 minutes, but never use followers. Just need a safety net to get to Telmethrin. Oh, yeah. So that's one of the biggest things that you can do for survival on legendary difficulty is just bring a follower. They use the same damage scaling for input and output as all the enemy NPCs do. So they, at low levels especially, are much more powerful than the player character. So just having a bodyguard or a meat shield with you is a smart move. Yeah, Scorpion here will be a lone wolf once he gets to that stage in the roleplay and the story. But for now, just for roleplay purposes, he doesn't even need it right now. He's taking followers along just for, you know, the roleplay of teaching his students. So it looks like Hanzo is quickly going to become the difference in this. This is like this is the atomic bomb, right? That the Empire was looking for to end the war. It was Mr. Hanzo himself. Okay, so let's head back to Solitude. Let's just head back to... Alright, Dawnstar is not Empire friendly. Whiterun is technically and officially neutral, but at least they don't mind seeing Imperial soldiers in their city so much. So that's where we'll go. We'll head back to... We'll head back to Whiterun. We're gonna find the road south over here to the west. Shor is the king of Sovngarde, so he would be the closest to Odin. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But there's like not really any magic there. He's just a big badass, right? It's kind of more of a warrior god than he is a mage god. At least in the modern representation, I guess. Oh, Junal being the Nordic aspect of Julianos. Junal is the god of knowledge, while Shor is the warrior chieftain who also has a bit of knowledge, as he has supposedly deceived the primordial spirits into creating Mundus. I gotcha. Junal. That's not one that I've heard a lot of. Maybe he's fallen out of favor in modern times in Skyrim. Shor is supposedly dead? Well, I don't know that he was dead. I think he was just absent, right? And I think it might have been Camel or Fudge Muppet or somebody who was putting forth the theory that maybe Shor was Alduin, because Shor is never present in Jorrvaskr while Alduin is around and kicking. I don't know. I don't think so. Soon and Stoon, Shor's sons, are still ruling in Sovngarde. Yeah. Well, Soon you meet at the entrance. You have to prove your worthiness in a fight with him. He's a tough dude, too. Atomic bomb. We need an Oppenheimer mage now. Ooh, I'm going to see Oppenheimer tonight. I'm excited about it. The 3-hour long ass movie. And we're going at night, so I'll stay awake. My wife, I think it's still up in the air whether or not she's going to stay awake for the whole thing. But it promises to be a really good movie, so it should probably hold our attention fairly well. Never use followers. Well, supposedly Shor, Lorcan, and any other name given depending on the tradition had his heart ripped out and shot into the Red Mountain. I see. Okay. And body torn and turned into the moons. I see. Okay. So that's supposedly the same guy with different names because they're different pantheons. Gotcha. So that makes sense. But none of the denizens of Sovngarde seem too torn up about it, right? They're still feasting and fighting, as long as Alduin's not terrorizing them. And they're still keeping Shor's seat at the mead hall nice and clean and ready to go for him. So that almost leads me to believe that they expect him to be back at some point, right? That would be my assumption based on just like the visual evidence of in-game situations. Mara is still mourning his death while Kain has to take care of the world. I see. Okay, back to Whiterun. I don't think we really need anything here. I could probably sell off some of these weapons, but I'd kind of like to drop them off back at Lakeview Manor. Like to hire.
Where do you want to go?
Would like to go to Solitude, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Yeah, I did know that Shor and Lorcan were supposed to play the same role. I didn't know that they were probably literally the same person that both got killed with the heart being split up into whatever pieces. Debella's being Debella, yeah. Debella's gonna have her fun regardless. I mean, Lorcan's heart is still out there beating, so if his heart is ever restored, you could argue for Shor's return. That makes sense to me. I feel like, especially with these like uber powerful deities and stuff, they never really die. They just kind of change forms, and sometimes they return. Especially with the way BGS likes to retcon their stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Shor again at some point in some future video game. Or references to it or whatever. Okay, where are we going? Back to General Tullius with the jagged crown. Let's do that. Hey, Gale. Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon to you as well. Hope you're having a good weekend. Feel like I haven't seen you around in a while, but I haven't seen anybody around in a while.
Ulfric will want to take Whiterun from us, but we will hold fast. We can't give the rebellion free reign through the center of Skyrim.
Found that jagged crown.
Excellent work, soldier.
Yeah, well,
I have to admit, I had my doubts it even existed. Did you run into any trouble?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
That's what I like to hear. I'll get the full report from Legate Ricca. Now then, I need someone I can trust to deliver a message of great import to Jarl Balgruf of Whiterun. We have it on good authority that Ulfric has raised enough men to
I was
attack
just
the city
in Whiterun. Now I gotta take a carriage all the way back there. These carriage rides are not comfortable, and they're not cheap, by the way. You paying my toll? You paying tolls? Are you paying transit fees? No. Crap, I probably have more money than the Empire budgets you anyway. After 3 years of avoiding it, I had COVID. Pretty much recovered now, but still tired. I see. Yeah, I got COVID for the first time really late too, but by that time I think it was diminished enough. I barely felt sick at all. I also had the benefit of, you know, having all the vaccines and everything, and
I've got weapons forgiven,
being otherwise healthy. Had COVID at its peak, haven't had it since. Yeah. Well, now we have ways to treat it and stuff, so I don't feel like it's as big of a deal. I'm certainly not as scared of it as I used to be. Some older people in my family got it before we had treatments and vaccines available, and they had a real rough time with it. And then we've had people since get it, and it just like was not my dad got it, and then he went to urgent care. They gave him the Paxlovid pill, and he was fine. Some older people on my volleyball team got it. Again, same thing, Paxlovid, all good. Was a very mild case, pretty much just like a cold, except for the after effects, which was just being tired. Yeah, and that's kind of all the vaccines did to me too. A lot of people had a lot of side effects from the vaccines. I just got a little bit sleepy, drank a Red Bull, and I was right as rain. My dad was asleep for like 3 days straight when he had it during the peak period. Yeah, man, I'm glad I was able to dodge it then, but I mean, I feel like I was fortunate enough that I had a job that I could do from home. Was able to avoid a lot of it. I had some N95 masks left over from when I was doing some renovations in the house, so I was able to wear those to the store or whatever. It wasn't until, you know, it wasn't such a big deal and the mask mandates were lifted and everything, and everybody was kind of coming out of their shell, and we already had the treatments and everything, that I got it. I did get sick though at the very beginning, like in probably early March or April, when it first started getting reported as a thing in Arizona, in the Phoenix area. And I did get sick for like a day or two. My wife got the same thing. She was taken out for a while. We kind of suspect that might have been COVID too at the very beginning of it, but... Hey, James. Welcome, welcome. The vaccine hit you harder than COVID did. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, for a lot of people I know, the vaccine did really have that, they call it a strong immunity effect. Where the hell am I going? What the heck am I doing? Oh yeah. And what a crazy time to live through, right? I'm getting kind of sick of living through interesting times.
Where do you want to go?
Let's see, Whiterun.
Climb and back and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
Okay, so we're headed back to Whiterun. My brother got super sick in Phoenix in January before it was reported. He had an extreme fever and shakes, and my family wondered, yeah. So obviously when it was getting reported, it had already been circulating for a few weeks or even closer to a month before, you know, they start testing for it and catching it officially. So it very well could have been. Let's see here. Ooh, it's getting late too. 6:13 p.m. Okay, maybe I'll deliver this. This is where I'm headed, right? Yeah. And we'll go back and still have a couple hours before bedtime or whatever. And I feel like we've done enough that we can go back and check in with the students and the wife at Lakeview Manor. Had to shut down my work machine. Wireless mouse was sending some crazy signals there. Hanzo needs a shield of Periite so he doesn't catch COVID. Yeah, right. Hanzo runs a little hot with his flame cloaks and stuff like that. I feel like he's always running a fever. That's just kind of his natural temperature. He's gonna burn out any viruses. No problem. Now that being said, anybody who saw The Last of Us, a lot of that stuff was based on actual real science. There are viruses that thrive in hotter temperatures. It's just that we haven't seen those hotter temperatures for long enough that it hasn't been an issue, and we haven't really had to worry about them before now. Okay, let's see. Where's Jarl Balin? Here we go. All right, out of the way, you peons.
What is it that you need?
I have an important message from General Tullius.
No doubt requesting to garrison his men in my castle. How many times must I deny him? Well, out with it.
In Texas now, where it's both hot and humid, starting to miss the dry air of Phoenix. Oh, you used to live here in Phoenix?
I see.
Well, it's kind of humid right now, too. We got the monsoons rolling in. It rained the last 2 days, and I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday. We had one of those crazy monsoon thunderstorms here where it was just dumping down just water all over the place. Flash floods, trees floating around in the streets. I have a couple branches that I got to cut loose this weekend, too. That kind of fell over because of it. And it's very humid. You would think that the storms would cut the heat and humidity, but it just made the humidity worse. And we still have the heat. We're going on like day 30 now of 110 plus degrees temperature, which is breaking all kinds of records. It's absolutely nuts. People dying every day. They started renting out portable coolers now because the morgue was filling up. It's terrible. It's absolutely awful.
He was rather straightforward with Torrig.
Torrig? He simply walked up to the
lived there through 2011 and 2022. Nice. So pretty much the entire lifetime of Skyrim up until this year.
Neither am I a boy.
Kind of had 5 years in the military there in the middle. Gotcha. In UK weather, it averaged 15 throughout the weeks and lots of rain. Yeah.
To do it for him.
True.
The hotter the better. Drink your water.
Now
well, yeah, the hotter the better until your air conditioning burns out because it's cranking the entire time, or someone you know dies from heat exhaustion because they couldn't get out of the heat or couldn't afford their electricity bill or something.
Ulfric has made it clear. In his mind, to refuse his claim is to side with the Empire.
And what harm is there in letting a few legionnaires die in place of your own men?
Yeah, it's by far harder this year than it has been any other year ever.
Cowardly then to accept the white gold
Actually moved Phoenix 2 weeks after Skyrim's release. I remember because it was right after I graduated high school. Yeah, it's funny. I kind of don't tell my wife this, but I kind of measure like time frames based on when Skyrim came out because I was so excited for the release of Skyrim on 11/11/11.
Lord, wait.
That now I think of things in terms of like, did that come out after Skyrim or before Skyrim? And then I can like kind of estimate the year. Yeah, you do the same. But that was also the year I met my wife, so I kind of feel bad about it. I think it's kind of remarkable that I met my wife in the same year that Skyrim came out. It's like, how do you have time for like work, courting a wife, and Skyrim all in the same time frame? I don't know. I don't think you can. An axe. Somehow I managed.
Been in Skyrim? Yes. Give the man my axe. If he returns it to you, it means we have business to settle. If he keeps it, then we are.
Hey, Hotch. Welcome, welcome. I always love when Hotch pops up. Makes me feel nostalgic for the good old days. No, I have a feeling that these are the good old days. I always try to,
Men who understand one another.
I always try to live in the moment as much as possible because you tend to look back on your past as like the good old days. But I think it's important to remember like how far you've come and like how much better certain things are than they used to be. I just don't want to be living in the best moments of my life and not realize it until after they're gone, right? So if I'm living in the good old days, I wanna know it. I wanna savor it. And I feel like these are the good old days, right? Is that a hopelessly optimistic attitude? Am I crazy? Did 5 years in the Marines, 1 year in California, 2 in Okinawa, and 2 in North Carolina. Wow, you were all over the place in those 5 years, huh? Doing great? Yeah, thanks. And you think Ulfric will just let me walk in there?
True.
No
He's a
trouble.
dangerous and bloodthirsty man. but he's also a Nord that honors our traditions. Keep your
In the
wits about
Marines,
you and
my
you
brothers
won't
were in
be
the
harmed.
Navy.
And then
I think they had
because if Ulfric isn't bluffing,
it was boot
I'll
camp, but they
need
called it
every
A training because they
able-bodied
were
to defend
in
Whiterun.
technical roles. That was in Chicago, and then one of them got shipped out to. Oh no, and then they were in San Diego for a little bit, and then they got shipped out to. One of them went to Hawaii, and one of them went to just outside of Seattle.
Are we writing
Safe.
a letter, Lord?
Yes, to General Tullius.
And it was nice being
I
able
need
to
to
visit
make a
both
few
of them
things
because Seattle
clear
and Hawaii are both
before I
awesome places
accept
to visit.
Legionnaires.
Miss Okinawa, the food was amazing. That was the most interesting one that you mentioned to me. Although I've heard North Carolina is a great place to be stationed. Like, I guess Virginia Beach over there is really cool. All right, let's see here. What are we doing? Okay, now we're going to Windhelm, huh? Well, I don't have to report into either Legate Ricca or General Tullius, so I think I can take some self-appointed leave, go back home, have a home-cooked meal, sleep in my own bed, snuggle with my own wife, all the good stuff. $15°C. Yeah, here in the U.S. we do things a little differently with our temperatures, and we do Fahrenheit, which generally is a lot bigger numbers when it's hot. JK's Whiterun? No, this is I think it's just called More Beautiful Whiterun or something like that. This is the Novice Guide. JK's adds a lot more. Beautiful Whiterun, I think, just adds some trees. But it's basically just vanilla. It might add a couple more plants, like alchemical plants here and there too. But JK's has like a little storage shed and stuff. Like down here, it'll have like some barrels. It'll have like a storage area for Adrienne, I think, down here or maybe over here, with like a locked gate and everything with all of her crafting materials. JK's does a lot more than what I'm doing. I didn't really feel like I needed the full overhaul. I was just going for the visual stuff. Illustrious Whiterun for texture. Yeah, textures are something different. I think Magus is right. It's been a while since I played, but I missed the heck of it. Skyrim? Yeah, I'm always playing Skyrim. I don't get burnt out on Skyrim like a lot of people do. I always enjoy exploring new character concepts in Skyrim. I might get burnt out on a character, but I'm always excited to play a new one. That being said, I do get excited for new games that are not Skyrim, and sometimes I have to take breaks from Skyrim in order to play the new games that I'm excited about. And those games I'll get burnt out on. After a while, I'll be like, okay, I think I've had enough of this game. Can I take a carriage ride? I think I can take one of these carriage rides close to Lakeview. Villages other? Lake Ilinalta, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. 98 degrees and 23% humidity in San Antonio. Yeah, that's pretty hot. I don't know what humidity I'm running, but it was pretty humid here last night. It did end up raining a little bit, but then it just felt like a sauna. It's like the steam, there was literally steam in the air. Let's see, where is the humidity? We're at 15% humidity, which is high for Phoenix. We're at 105 degrees right now. It's going to be a high of 113, so it's like been over a month of severe weather alerts. Yet another day above 110. We've had a record number above 115 as well. It looks like Monday and Tuesday next week are 104 and 105 with thunderstorms, and 34 and 46% humidity. It's crazy. Monsoon weather is just crazy, man. Yeah. So we actually went on vacation to Flagstaff, which is generally a lot cooler than it is here. And it was in the high 90s there when we went. And the air conditioning at the Airbnb was extremely subpar. And their heater kept malfunctioning and blowing hot air, so we got no reprieve from the heat. In fact, we spent more time sweating in Flagstaff than we did here in Phoenix in our own home with the air conditioning blowing. So it was not a great vacation. Kind of terrible, actually. Is it just me, or is the music very loud? It's just this one song. Sorry, this song gets loud. Andrew running that 4090? Yeah. Well, the 4090 is more of a power draw thing. It actually stays pretty cool as the card goes. It's 61 Celsius right now. Because the card doesn't need to get stretched as much because it has so much horsepower that you don't use it fully all the time. But it also has that enormous heatsink on it that keeps it cool. I've had Skyrim burn out for a little less than 2 years now, but when I get my new PC, I'm picking it up again. Yeah, and that's the thing about Skyrim is that you can always try a new mod list or whatever. Wabbajack is like an awesome thing now, where it's like if you don't want to spend like the week or two completely remodding your game or following a guide, you can just, you know, click a few buttons and have a program do it for you, and you can get a completely unique experience from it. And it might not be your thing, it might not be exactly what you're looking for, but at least it's something new to try. And then you can just as easily wipe it out and try a new one, right? Streaming and gaming haven't gone above 55C. I attest to the GPU, 13 fans, and a large case. Yep, all good. Yeah, the 40 series stuff, it runs a lot cooler, and most of it's due to the fact that they just put an enormous heatsink on there. It's kind of brute force the temperatures on it, because the 30 series cards did run very hot. I was pegged out and throttled at 81 degrees Celsius. Maybe is it 81? Yeah, I think it's 81 for the GPUs and it's 91 for the CPUs. CPU is always fine, but that 3080 it was pegged at 81 like the entire time whenever I was doing anything. 40 series is a complete 180 from that. 30 series would climb click, yeah. Okay. What are we doing? Oh yeah, let's... Hey, baby.
You and I, we're the only people in Skyrim worth loving. That's what I think.
Hell yeah. It's you and me against the world. I'm not gonna take your money. You probably need it more than I do. In fact, I'll give you some money. I got a lot of it. Do you have any food left over?
I should be asking you the same question,
Uh-oh.
but all right. I'll cook.
She
Here,
knows.
Try this. And don't you dare
She
ask for
knows what
another one before
she's
tomorrow.
got. I didn't marry her for her cooking skills, that's for sure. Well, thank you. You know, being out on the road all day, you know, fighting somebody else's fights, it's hungry business, you know, and having something that you made makes me feel like I'm at home.
Leaving? Take the world by storm, dearest.
No, I'll be here for the rest of the night, I think. Heading to Windhelm in the morning, though. Some nice buffs that you get from that home-cooked meal. Let's take another look at that. Oops. Yeah, faster regeneration, 25% faster. Yeah, not great. You can do better with alchemy, but most things you can do better with alchemy than you can with food. But health, magic, and stamina regeneration, 25% is really good. You can only get one of them per day, I think, though, from your spouse. But it's something. All right, I don't need another 12 hours of sleep. Let's get 8. Who's Debella? Is our house her temple? Yes.
You and I, we're the only people in Skyrim worth loving. That's what I think.
She has a very short memory. Her long-term memory is not great, so she repeats herself a lot. It's okay. Didn't marry her for her memory. You're just... Oh, she's getting to bed now. Okay. Pray to Lecky right before... That would be great. Look, I can do the... I can do a battle meditation right before getting in bed with Priestess of Dibella. Perfect. Call that an aphrodisiac. Dibella is one of the Hearthfire gods, along with Kyne and Mara. She is Shore's wife. Nice, nice. Hearthfire. 3 Hearthfire gods. Well, that makes sense then, having a Priestess of Dibella in the house. Okay, how's encumbrance? Not great. Maybe we'll sell some stuff off in Windhelm. We'll stop by if they'll take business from an Imperial. Well, Whiterun will take our business, so let's stop at Whiterun first, I guess.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
We're just at Whiterun, but now that it's a new day, they'll the Khajiit caravan might be there. Been playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas play and a bit of the Brotherhood in Enclave energy weapon build. Nice. I have been having the hankering to play some Fallout lately, and I've been resisting it because we have Starfield coming up in you know, right about a month, a little less if you have the early access to it, if you pre-order it, which I have. And I am ready. I am ready for it. But I like don't want to act on my impulse to play Fallout because I want it to be fresh. Because it looks like Starfield is similar to how Fallout 4 was, and I don't want to satisfy my hunger for Fallout with Fallout. I want to satisfy it with Starfield. I want to binge so hard on that game. I am excited. My body is ready. But New Vegas was fun. I think I preferred Fallout 3 to New Vegas. Personally, I'm one of those guys. I like the BGS flavor more than I like Obsidian. It's a personal preference. I think most people are in one camp or the other. Luckily, with New Vegas on PC, you can combine the both. I think the Wind has a Fallout series right now, and she's running Tale of Two Wastelands, where you get to have both in the same playthrough. Pretty cool stuff. I think the factions and roleplay were better handled in New Vegas, but I like the writing and gameplay better in Fallout 3. Fallout 3 does exploration, combat, and I think it does story better than New Vegas. New Vegas does roleplay, dialogue, and factions better. New Vegas also has the open-ended character backstory and forestory or whatever, just like Skyrim does. So BGS Fallout, you're always playing the same guy, right? And you can always kind of do the same things. It's much more linear than Skyrim is. But Fallout New Vegas is much more wide open, so I can see why people would like that too.
Good to see you.
I wish Bethesda would have added just a bit more lore on House Sodras, since they replaced House Lalu as a great house. Oh, interesting.
The finest weapons and armor.
I just had a pew pew from my phone. Let's see what's going on here. Oh. My wife sending her Wordle score for the day. And Samsung's sending me some spam on a push notification.
Looking
Lovely.
to protect yourself or deal some damage?
Actually, I kind of don't want to get rid of these. The Vagabond stuff can go. I want to keep the weapons. Daedric Dagger, that's nice. Reinforced Boots can go. Shield can go. The Rebel's Helm can go. Yeah, fine. Okay, encumbrance is looking better now. Let's head to Stormcloak country, huh? Hey, Icarus. What's up, buddy? Icarus just dropped another episode of Hasim, the Vampire Assassin. I put that in my watch later. I always try to make time for Hasim.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
Oh, one thing I wanted to do. No, not that one. Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. So James said it was 14 degrees out there. That's actually beautiful weather. Beautiful weather. I would love having 57, even if it's raining, to be honest. To give you what it's been here lately. Oops, no, not that one. At the lowest, it's been about 113 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 45 degrees Celsius with humidity. This is death weather. The temperature in Arizona, we are slated for yet another day above 110. I think we're looking at 113 today. Yeah, 113 is the high today. Right now, it's the temperature is 105. Yeah, and I think we're on day 30 of temperatures above 110, and I'm really worried about the air conditioner. It's gonna be a bad day when that thing burns out, that's for sure. It's been hot in California. What part of California are you in? California are you in, Icarus? Is it like the greater LA area? Is it Northern California? Southern? I don't think I told him where I'm going. I'm just gonna sit in his carriage and take a load off.
I can take you to any of the hold capitals. Where do you want to go?
Central Valley? Okay. Oh, wind down, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. You'd best hurry it up.
Hanzo, after his first run-in with the Stormcloaks at where the I'm just completely blanking it. The Jagged Crown was. What is the name of that place? Corvinjund, yes. After his run-in with the Stormcloaks at Corvinjund, he's not really afraid of what any of these Stormcloaks can throw at him, honestly. He kind of took them out all very easily. Basically single-handedly took out their entire force. So he's going to walk in here confidently, even though he's donning all of his Imperial gear. And really his fight isn't with the Stormcloaks, it's more with the Empire, and specifically with Sidgear for forcing him to do this. So the Stormcloaks here are just collateral damage. He doesn't really have a fight with them, and if they want to pick on with him, he can handle it. I think is his attitude going in here. He's got more muscles than he's got brains. I mean, he's gonna grow into a wise person. He's smart in the ways of martial arts, but he doesn't really have maybe the respect for his enemies that he should. You can actually sit in the carriage without talking to him and eventually ask you where you're going. Oh, nice. I didn't know that. Might be a better way of doing it. Colorful Magic. It's kind of a cool mod. I have too many magic mods in my load order already, though. Can't do Colorful Magic on Xbox, huh? Oh, the armor set that Hanzo's wearing right now. This is, geez, what is this? Let's try this. This is one of the bigger replacer sets, either by Nord War or someone else. DIS Heavy Legion replaces all the faction gears. I have one, the same thing for Stormcloaks, and I think some other factions as well, but I don't know. I just followed the Novus guide. I did that 2 years ago, so I don't I don't really remember much.
Is there any news from Hyrule?
Not a peep. Those prissy Bretons can't be made to lift a finger to help their neighbors.
Make it quick. I'm a busy man.
Might as well be elves. Think they're
Brought a message from the Jarl of Whiterun.
Is that so? I've been wondering when he'd come around. Oh, what's this?
Who's the mage over there? Who's the guy in the robes? Is that another Forgotten Magic?
It's a pity you've chosen the wrong side.
Maybe another Forgotten Magic vendor that I'm not aware of. There's the one that follows the Khajiit caravan from Markarth to Whiterun. There's Elithor in the Bannered Mare.
I expect a great
This guy I don't know.
excitement in the city of
It's not
Whiterun
Woundfirth.
in the near future.
Oh, maybe it's the priest of Talos. Don't remember his name.
Sooner than you think.
I've spent my life serving.
Yeah, Lortheim. He's the priest of Talos. I was kind of hoping for another Forgotten Magic vendor. I only know of the two. If anybody else knows of a third one or more of them, let me know, because it can be a real pain to find the Forgotten Magic spells that you're looking for a particular build. Okay, so Ulfric says we may be seeing him sooner than we think. So this tells Hanzo, you know, I said he's got more muscles than he's got brawn, but he does have a lot of knowledge gleaned from battlefield experience, right? From real battlefield experience. That to him says that the Stormcloaks have been planning an assault on Whiterun for some time now. That his forces are already mobilized and ready to go. He was just looking for an excuse or the right time. So we need to get back to Solitude as soon as possible. And in fact, as a Red Guard and Raya in tow, she's going to be able to do the same thing. We're faster on foot than we are going to be in the carriage. Because the carriage rides are not as fast as you go on horseback, because, you know, you go that fast, you're just going to tear your carriage apart. So you kind of have to go slow. It's safe, but it's not that fast. We got another thief. Damn it.
All right, hand over your valuables, or I will gut you like a fish.
Favorite forgotten spells vendor is the console commands. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I've had to resort to that a few times too. He's not house mage, yeah. Yeah, Magus's screenshots are always great. Always looking forward to what Magus is doing in a new load order. I really don't have time for this.
Come on.
Shot him in the ass. Did you see that? Band of Devouring, Flawless Diamond. Yes, please. Just trying to take some lightweight stuff that won't slow us down, but we can sell it for a good price. Okay. To Whiterun. I'm going to do a quick save here just in case we have a cell doesn't load correctly or something, which tends to happen while I'm streaming. Skeever? I don't think so. Monica, welcome. Glad to see you back. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Vacations can be nice just to get out of your own head for a while or whatever and take a break from your regular routine life, reset yourself, but it's always nice to get back home and back to your routine, right? And in my case, Always glad to get back to Skyrim and streaming with you guys. It's always so fun. It's like the highlight of like every week for me. Just being able to do this. Yeah, the streaming for me is not about like the project I have for trying to grow the channel or anything. It's all about just, you know, having fun with like-minded people, hanging out with you guys. Who said that? Where are we? Oh, there you are. Fellow Redguard, huh?
Only a fool lets himself get surrounded.
Ooh, that's some sexy armor. Look at the fur on the neckline. I really like that. It's too heavy though. Ebony short spear. We can take that back to the Shirairyu Manor. Add it to the arsenal. Actually, I can just have Raya carry a lot of this stuff. Yeah, we'll put this on some mannequins. We'll add it to our armory.
Yes, my thing?
Maybe some of the students can get to know him.
Of course.
Yeah, just carry all my junk, please. Thank you.
Very good, sir.
Like button has been smashed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Aster. Aster is my marketer. He's my madman. The advertiser. One-man marketing crew. Look at that guy. Appreciate it. Let's see. Right at the fork. So even though this isn't his fight, and he's actually opposed to this war, he doesn't understand it fully. Much like, you know, non-leadership, they don't really understand what they're fighting for. You know, some people have more trust in their leadership than others. It's also very situational dependent. Hanzo has never felt like he fully understood the fight between the Thalmor and Hammerfell. He never understood the fight between the Empire and the Stormcloaks. This is not his fight. He's not happy to be doing it, but he's going to do it in earnest. He is going to do the best job he can because that's how he's wired up. He's going to be able to put his personal feelings aside. He's going to take his job seriously just because that's part of the person he is. He may not like what leadership is telling him to do, but he's going to do it, and he's going to do his best. Oh my god.
This here's a toll road.
That's a burnt up.
You're gonna have to hand over, say, 200 gold if you want to use our
this is frightening. You know what? 200 gold is well worth the price not to have to deal with a headless, burned corpse trying to get money out of me.
Wise move.
I thought
Now
so too.
Get out of here, you goat licker, before I decide the toll's going up.
Well, that's not something you see every day, huh? Don't have time for fighting that anyway, or processing what the hell just happened. Click on her? Yeah, maybe. No, I've seen this happen before. That's from Frozen Electrocuted Combustion. That character, that NPC, is actually recycled. I have killed her before, probably using fire, and that model was probably recycled with whatever the texture pack or whatever was on there last. So that is the Frozen Electrocuted Combustion. The face was blank because probably some kind of face gen data conflict. I'm not too worried about it. I want to get to Whiterun.
That's taken care of.
Must have run off.
Oh my god, all kinds of stuff happening on the side of the road here. Cryomancer, huh? We don't like cryomancers. I don't like pyromancers either, to be honest. And we got the backwards walk animation. Okay, I think this this is a vanilla. Some more stuff for the armory. This is a vanilla bug, right? The animation bug. Yeah, see, this is the same model that was used for that highwayman. But I think that animation bug is exasperated or exaggerated. Accentuated? My words aren't coming. By the D13 faster get up animation that I have. I think that it tries to get up faster than the animation system can keep up with, so that it just kind of bugs out to a default walking animation even though the character is dead. That's my... FEC needs to be gone through an X-edit and fixed. It's a bug that I'm willing to deal with. I've seen it happen rarely. It doesn't affect the gameplay at all. It looks a little funny. I would be willing to bet that if I turned the game off and kind of waited a couple days, or like in-game, and then reset the game and went back, that she'd be fine. Still hilarious. I'm not overly concerned about it. It hasn't really been a problem. I'm so glad I'm not like obsessive about things like that. I get to play a lot more Skyrim. I get to play a lot more Skyrim than I do SSE edit. And for that, I feel fortunate. Haven't had any issues with FEC. Yeah, so I've had... they're not many, but I play so much Skyrim that I've seen it a couple times. Mostly just on dead bodies. That NPC I know is special because... and I know it's recycled, because she actually remembers when you've killed her. If you kill her earlier in your playthrough and then you come back and you calm her and then you talk to her, she says, "You're not gonna kill me again, are you?" So that specific character is developed specially. His developers having some fun, and I think that it's a side effect between that and frozen electric combustion. What is FEC? Because the only thing I can think of is Federal Exchange Commission. No, it's a frozen electrocuted combustion, and what that does is it has like special effects whenever you kill someone with an element. Like if you kill them with electricity, they'll kind of twitch and they'll have like static on them. Oh, you know about frozen electrocuted combustion? Okay. Yeah, and then corpses will look burned if you kill them with fire. They'll look shriveled and gross looking if you kill them with poison. It's really cool. One of my favorite aesthetic mods for sure, but with any other mod, it's gonna be a little bit buggy. Nothing I can't roll with. All right, Jarl.
You've returned with my axe. I knew that would be.
I like the drain effect. I do too.
As soon as you left, I sent word to General Tullius, who's been kind enough to lend us some of his troops, and Legate Scipius here.
I think there's also
try to make it past our combined forces.
A zombie effect too. If you raise dead, they're not going to look like their original model anymore. They're going to be kind of decayed looking. It's a really cool effect. Let's see. Yeah, Magus, I don't think there's actually any conflicts. I think that Frozen Electrocuted Combustion has a script that replaces the original model with like a burned one. And then the way that specific NPC works is that she comes back and it's the same character with the same ID. And since Frozen Electrocuted Combustion like changes the actual model in the save, that recycled actor has the funky burn stuff, and she's headless because it's trying to animate facial objects that just aren't there anymore. Let's see here. What will it take to end the war? What does it mean? What do you know about shouts? Oh, am I supposed to talk to the legate?
The Stormcloaks got the city to
Yeah.
Force. Get down to the front line. This is it. We must hold the city. Now move it.
Move it. All right, here we go. You guys ready for some action? We're gonna smell some burning beards here in a minute. Burning bear fur armor. Okay, now we're getting some framiness here. Yeah, down below 60 frames per second because of all the new models, all the new fire effects and everything from the catapults. The hell is going on here? Oh no, Sadia died? Low lives. Must be from the sewers. Interesting. Okay. This fight ought to be more epic than it is, I think. It's like this fight doesn't... Well, okay, so defending Whiterun is kind of a lot more... Oh, wait, I'm supposed to report to the garrison commander here. Attacking Whiterun has more stages to it. It's a lot more epic than actually defending it. You can defend Whiterun right here before they even get in through the gate. So it's just kind of waiting on the other side of the first gates here and just picking off Stormcloaks as they come in. And if you've perked well enough, these Stormcloaks are fairly low level, not too tough.
We will make this country whole again.
Need to run for your lives, or I am running Run for Your Lives. It doesn't always seem to work. In fact, in my oh no, I think it's this play. I think Alvor and Sigrid are both dead because they decided to fight a dragon, and there are no conflicts in SSE edit for it. It just sometimes doesn't work.
Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
God damn it. Got just a lot of kamikaze warriors here, huh? Guys, it's gonna be a lot easier if you just don't let them in the gates. Flame textures look pixelated. That's sad. Trying to keep an eye in the upper left-hand corner there to see when Phoenix Strike is ready again. That thing levels up slowly because of the cooldown on it. Jesus, this guy's cagey. Out of the way. Oh, where? I think this is just a spawn point for Stormcloak soldiers.
Come on, show me what you've got.
Where are you running, Raya? The battle's over here.
Water the ground with your blood.
I think I think we're actually done. It's like the Stormcloaks have given up and they're running off now. We just haven't had the notifications update. There we go.
Everyone, on me! The Jarl wishes to speak.
Yeah, this fight is not as epic from the defensive side as it is from the offensive side.
Even as the gods
sadly.
revel in your honor.
This is where you would firestorm. Yes, indeed.
The halls of Sovngarde are no doubt ringing with your praises. In defeating these Stormcloak traitors,
I've had ideas for doing builds focused around the ritual spells.
and the fullness of your heart.
I think I wouldn't say they're underutilized, but they're hard to use in certain ways because they take so long to cast. You're locked in place. Well, I think the newer version of Ordinator allows you to run around while you're casting them if you have the right perk. But the version that I'm running, you're stuck in place, and then the wind down from it takes so long.
And so, we must each one of us.
So I've only been able to get them to work through like something like Ghost Walk, sneaking into the middle of a group of enemies and casting it there with impunity and then being teleported back out of danger once you've cast it. That seems to be the best way of doing it, but there should be ways. There should be other ways of being able to do it. You don't need anything from Ordinator, you can just do it with a mod. Yeah, that makes some sense.
For Whiterun, for the Empire.
Ritual spells can be single hand cast too, with mods, I'm sure, right? I know that I think it was Simon Magus's magic overhauls. I don't remember what they're called, but they convert everything, all the ritual magics. Oh, excuse me, Red Bull. Ritual spells to one-handed. To me, I like the way NI balances it more. These spells should be dangerous to cast because, well, they're supposed to be so powerful. And if you perk into them and have the right potions and enchanted items and stuff, you can. They can become very, like, extremely powerful. It's just the survivability of it becomes an issue. So Sadia is someone that we helped out in the past. It's hard to see her dead like this because we helped her out. She was being chased by the Alikir, and because of our history in Hammerfell, we have no love for the Alikir. So that's kind of sad to see. When dragons attack or whatever, yeah, that is or run for your lives when dragons attack. They're both installed, and they work most of the time. For whatever reason, when I think it's a scripting thing, I think the scripts just don't fire properly when the game engine is overloaded. I have plenty of headroom on my CPU. Obviously that one core is up to 88%. In heavily scripted moments that could easily get up to 100. And it's not the fact that I'm not running a good CPU, it's just the fact that Skyrim's scripting system is crap. And I'm running the 1.597. I'm running the SE version of the EXE, not the AE version of the EXE, because I wanted to keep compatibility with all of my other existing mods. I didn't want to have to overhaul the whole thing to get the AE content, and I'm just running the AE content over the top of it. Now the newer version, the AE version of the Skyrim EXE has an improved scripting engine that doesn't drop script triggers nearly as much as the SE one. So it is improved in that way. It nips a bunch of bugs in the bud, but I'm not running that EXE, so I'm not getting the benefit of that. Okay, so villages, other. I think we can go to Dragon Bridge. Report back to General Tullius. There's a mod that lets you do that one. Okay, ritual spells can be single-handed. They still have the charge times. Yeah, but it's fucking sweet. Oh yeah, it really enables you to use those spells in a lot of different situations, right? You can run with new Ordinator, but lose like 25% of the efficiency of the spell. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, of course with mods. The problem with that is you're using Simon's mods, and eyes are way better. Yeah, that's a... Say what you will about how broken an Irem builds can be, but I really think that if you follow what Anai had in mind when he designed these things, that's like you're still only getting vanilla perks, 1 perk per level, really forces you to focus on a specific build rather than just taking
I've been looking for you.
Perks like willy-nilly, like with the young capper where you're getting extra perks or whatever every few levels. And he even has plugins on his site because people were asking for it so much. But the balance for an Irem is much better if you follow his sort of design philosophies on this thing, and you only take a certain amount of perks. And he still keeps things like, he does a lot of things to keep things balanced. Like he will force things to be cast with your left hand so that you can't hook them up to Okado's recital. He will specifically exclude certain things from being hooked up to Okado's recital, like Ozra's Wrath from the Shadow Triumvirate archetype. He will put things in a ritual cast animation so that you can't assign them to other things, or put them into like Spellscribe or Lion's Arrow or something like that, and that's all perfectly balanced as long as you can get those ritual spells to be powerful enough to make up the difference, right? And he's done that in Ordinator. He makes you take a perk to be able to do that. I think that's a carryover from Valkyrie that people really liked, and he liked the idea enough and thought it was balanced enough that he carried it over to newer versions of Ordinator. Yeah, Simon Magus runs... He just completely gets rid of that, and to me that makes things less balanced. Sort of more wide open. It just kind of feels messy. It's like there's no... It feels like there's less of a purpose to have those master spells. With an Irem, at least you have to build around those master level spells, right? It's kind of like a puzzle to solve. Simon's mods are good. I just like an Irem working together. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't think Simon's mods are bad. I just think I like an Irem's better. It's more of a cohesive experience. It all works together better. And I think the buildcraft is better. It expands things that need to be expanded. Simon Magus's stuff kind of just adds things in from Oblivion. It's like an Irem stuff, it adds like new novel things that really expand what kind of builds you can make, what kind of gameplay experiences you can do. And again, it's a taste thing. I'm not gonna berate you for liking Simon's stuff better than Anai's stuff, but I'm an Anai guy. My dog is snoring like a chainsaw at the moment. Oh, I love it when my dog snores. It just means that she's just like happy, and that makes me happy. It means I'm doing a good job as a doggy daddy. Vander indeed, yeah. We all love Vander. The build that was start the last stream, Depth of the Reach, ended up retiring. Were you trying to build for now? Depth of the Reach. Last stream I did the Steger, which is the Stormcloak Assassin. I'm not retiring him. I need to focus on Scorpion for a bit here. Because I said this earlier, but Scorpion here is based off of a Mortal Kombat character, and in order to get the build guide where I want it, I need to have Mortal Kombat 11 installed to get footage from that game to compare with the gameplay from this playthrough. But Starfield's coming out soon, and I'm starting to run out of space on my SSDs. So I need to be able to uninstall Mortal Kombat 11 to install Starfield. So I'm going to be focusing more on Scorpion here.
We have solidified the allegiance of the
Try to get that build guide out before Starfield comes out. Now, a channel update, the Nemesis build guide is probably a good 60% done and produced, and the vast majority of that came this week. So if I can focus, I feel like I can have that done and out. I feel like next week is kind of a bit much to ask, but the week after, I think, is an easy mark to hit. You know, depending on how much time I actually get to sit down and focus on.
You'll be of greater use to me with greater flexibility.
Which I hope is
Make your
enough.
way to our hidden military camp.
It's hard to have a hobby that you're like passionate about, that you really want to make progress on, but just not have the time in your life to be able to do it. Oh, it's aggravating. Okay, so what exactly, or energy is also another big one. If I'm spending,
for the Emperor,
if I'm spending too much time or too much effort on work, I'm not gonna be in the mind space or have like the energy to be able to create. So then I just have to sit down and grind a Skyrim character or do some Diablo 4 or something. Anybody still playing Diablo 4, by the way? The new season dropped, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. This season, the season mechanics seem a little underbaked, but they were saying that this is probably going to be the most simple season. Because they just, it being the first one, they didn't really have as much time to fully cook all the mechanics and stuff. But I've been playing a barbarian, which I guess is supposedly like the weakest class in the game. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I haven't had any issues or anything. I'm still playing on World Tier 1. But I'm only like level 26, so I haven't even reached the capstone dungeon. But I'm not having any survivability issues. I think he does feel a little underpowered as far as damage output. But his skills and his powers and abilities and stuff seem like really cool.
Good day.
So I'm having a lot of fun fleshing those out and everything. And it seems like in the next couple days or so, they're going to really buff the barbarian anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. All right. To the Pale. Where is the closest carriage stop to that? Probably Morthal? I'm not sure Morthal... I think Morthal is controlled by Stormcloaks. I think Morthal and Dawnstar are both... No, maybe Morthal is... I think Morthal is Imperial controlled, isn't it? Anyway, we don't have to actually enter the city. We can just take a carriage right there and then follow the road. I can't get to Morthal from here? Oh, I have to use the vanilla one, I think. Dawnstar is Imperial? No, Dawnstar is, that's definitely Stormcloak. The Jarl there is a huge Stormcloak enthusiast.
I can take you to
Scald the Elder, I think.
Capitals.
Yeah, Dawnstar is Stormcloak. I'm not sure about Morthal. I'm sure Dawnstar, because the Jarl there is always at odds with the retired Imperial woman and her bodyguard with the old Imperial gear. Scald hates Imperials, yeah. Morthal is Imperial. Yeah, I thought so because...
Where do you want to go?
Morthal.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
Because her housecarl is worried about like the state of her mind, right? And trying to get secret messages sent to the Empire to have her replaced. She gets replaced with someone from Stone Hills. Okay, if the Stormcloaks win. Morthal is Imperial, I believe. It's hard to tell with that one. It is hard to tell because she's obviously shamanistic, and that's a very like traditional Nord thing. So you would think it would be Stormcloak, but I think it is actually Imperial. Because Idgrod is also invited to Elenwyn's thing too, and I don't think they would do that for Stormcloak sympathizers. Idgrod is there for the diplomatic immunity quest. It's all Imperial after you win. Indeed. It's all Imperial. The Stormcloaks just don't know it yet. Until we go back to the Steger, then it's all Stormcloaks. The Empire just doesn't know it yet. Okay, so we have to follow this road. It's gonna bend left a few times, but then when it takes a sharp turn right, that's when we just need to keep going. Alright, being red guards, we have infinite stamina. We can just sprint for days. Who's this? Oh, he's not coming at me. Fine. That's what sucks. Some of the good Jarls are on the Imperial side. The interesting ones, anyway. Idgrod is very interesting. Scald the Elder is just... He's a dickbag. He's just a huge asshole. I don't think he's that interesting. He's just a grumpy old man who hates to see the world. He'd rather see the world burn than change. Who else? I like Jarl Layla, Lawgiver over here. She seems like a good person. She's she is Stormcloak, but her true colors kind of show when they're talking about how if the city should fall, it's only right that the Jarl be spared. That kind of shows her true colors there, but she seems like a good person for the most part. Winterhold. This guy just seems angry at the situation. He's kind of stuck in a crap hole. That's actually probably more run by the College of Winterhold than by the people of Winterhold, and by him specifically. He has very little power for what his title is. Let's see. Actually, the Markarth guy, I don't remember his name. He seems like a good dude. I like him. He's Stormcloak. Till the Silverbloods take over, and they're tied to the Empire, and they're a bunch of corrupt scumbags. Sidgear is a corrupt scumbag too, tied to the Empire. Dengear, probably not any better, but maybe slightly, just because he's not as corrupt. Who else? Who else are we missing? I think that's about it. And then Jarl Balgruf, who just refuses to pick a side one way or the other, but ultimately ends up with the Empire for extremely pragmatic purposes. Yeah, but Maven. Yeah, Maven's terrible. There's no comparison. You're right. Layla's definitely the better of the two there. Love the fact that the most corrupt person in Maven takes over the Imperials. Yeah, if you feel like you're up on like a high horse because you're siding with the Empire, and then you see Maven take over in Riften, you're like, ugh, that's really a gut shot. That definitely hurts. Ooh, now we're cooking from the, what is that? Not Blazing Strikes. It's one that I have hooked up. Blazing Soul. This is an Arcanum spell. Really good Arcanum spell. I have this hooked up to Okado's Recital. So when this gets auto-cast during combat, you gain 4% movement speed, 4% attack damage, and destruction spells are 4% stronger for 6 seconds whenever you cast a fire spell. So every time I cast Conflagrate, I get faster, I get stronger, and my destruction spells get more powerful. And that stacks. 6 seconds is a very long time in combat, so that's really cool. Especially considering that with the light armor perks that I have for unarmed damage, that's tied to movement speed. So this all gets turned into like twice that amount of percentage in unarmed damage that I get to do. So a really potent combo is to just pelt your enemies with a lot of fire spells, and then when you're out of magicka, rush in with unarmed attacks, and they're gonna go down easy. Crazy good. Who's more corrupt, the Silverbloods or Blackbriars? I think the Blackbriars probably. The Silverbloods still kind of claim some kind of like higher power. They think that they're doing the right thing for the most part. But I think Maven is just kind of overtly evil. Just a little more overtly evil, even though the Silverbloods are really bad. In terms of corruption, they're probably equal, but in terms of like Which one is worse? Probably Maven.
His before him. Guess I never considered doing anything else.
Let's see. Imagine a Silverblood getting married to a Blackbriar, entire family tree of weeds. Yeah, now you're getting into just like actual mafia territory. On your agent, you missed a whole range of spells that could have helped you with Archer and Arcanum. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with Arcanum yet. I would like to revisit a lot of these classes at some point, a lot of these builds. Once I get like more familiar with some of the spell mods I have installed and stuff. Who am I looking for? Legate Rika. And now that I have things like Nemesis installed for lagless dodge rolls, and I have like a slide mechanic now that would be great for like an acrobat. I can't help looking back at like these different build guides that I've had out, and then think about how I could have made them better with like the improvements to the mod list that I've made since.
The Nightgate and Candlehearth Inns are frequent stops.
I try not to look backwards. I try to look forwards as much as possible to like new things, but
one
sometimes
way or
it's hard.
another, get me those documents. But don't do anything rash if you go to Windhelm.
I really like some of those builds, some of those playthroughs that I did. Like the Agent one was awesome. The Shadow Ninja one was awesome.
We do this for the good of Skyrim and her people. Never forget that.
Those are probably the main two that I would go back to do again, if I could. The Shadow Ninja one and the because the Shadow Ninja one ended up being really wide. I'd like to kind of narrow him down a little bit to really focus on a core arsenal for him. Maybe not as limited as the Nemesis Arcane Archer, but
here's what I can spare.
Probably have some armor I can sell him. I want to save the weapons for Daedric Sword of Eternal Fire. Jesus, that's what we got from. That's what we got from Tullius. Wow, Empire does pay pretty well, huh? Oh, I have the rest of the stuff with Raya and her unlimited satchel there. Okay, what am I doing? Find the Stormcloak Courier. Where is the Stormcloak Courier? I think he's over in Heljarken. He is indeed. Okay. Don't want to get too close to... Yeah. We're going to play this straight up. We have too much honor for subterfuge. We're going to fight the Stormcloaks because we're forced to, but we're going to do it with honor. So to hell with it. If we have to end up fighting like a legion of Stormcloaks because we're wearing Imperial gear, so be it. We're not going to give up on our ideals and our ethics because we're being forced to fight. We're going to still fight our way, even if we're forced to take on things that aren't our fight. So we're going to brazenly go. We're not going to go into Dawnstar because we don't want to cause any more chaos and death than necessary. We're going to try to stay on the outskirts. Going to take this carriage stop from Dawnstar to the Heljarken, the Nightgate Inn one. And then we'll try to wait for that courier. And we're not just going to sneak up on him and take advantage of him. We're going to trigger an actual fight. I mean, I use Sacrosanct to marry into the Blackbriars for my shady characters and those seeking influence. Okay, so Sacrosanct, you have that like, influence spell or whatever that it adds in to make them friendly or marryable. It's a wolf or an ice wraith or a troll or something around here somewhere. Oh, yep, ice wraith. Stands no chance against a pyromancer. Yeah, there's a lot to Sacrosanct that hasn't been explored. I would like to do like a full Sacrosanct build guide and just walk or maybe just a Sacrosanct guide, maybe not necessarily a build guide, of just everything you can do with Sacrosanct, because it goes so far beyond just the hemomancy spells that it's added. And then you touched on one of them there, Mad Adam. There's a lot you can do with that marriage mechanic that you can't do in the vanilla game. It opens up a lot of roleplay opportunities, and roleplay opportunities that have actual tangible effect on the game. It's crazy. Should try a monk unarmored archer with alteration that falls back on hand-to-hand combat. The monk is on the list. I want to do all of the Oblivion builds. The next one I think is going to be just your straight up warrior, because I want to do the Guardian, the basic ones first, just to kind of get those under my belt so I can use those for the more hybrid builds that are more interesting. With Ordinator and Andromeda and all the Nyrim stuff, there are ways to spice up just a regular basic warrior in ways that just aren't possible with vanilla, that are like very interesting, you know, that creates good gameplay and roleplay and nuance that otherwise just playing a pure warrior in Skyrim would not be able to do. Other Nightgate Inn, please. Do they have a friar haircut? They might. Maybe not. I know Oblivion did. Oblivion definitely did. I don't think in vanilla Skyrim that the friar haircut is a thing. I might have something in my mod list for it, but I'm not sure. I did actually play a monk character. It wasn't an Oblivion monk. It was just kind of it was more of a Khajiit unarmed, light armored character, but it was a lot of fun. I played it for a long time on live stream. It was like, might have been my first live stream character. First live stream series that I've ever done. The Moon Monk.
Take a seat and get the cold out. Need a room? Or maybe just some mead?
You know what? I just got a question. In fact, if it will help grease the wheels a little bit.
Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Give me your most expensive wine in exchange for some information. Looking for a Stormcloak courier.
I tend to keep my patrons' privacy.
His life is in danger.
It is?
By me.
Well, that's different. He was here.
Ruma has one that gets added by default if you have it installed.
Now you can probably catch it, or you can just wait here. He'll be
the
back
haircut?
soon enough.
It's on the thin side though. I do have Bruma installed. Interesting. And that's something that you can use in the default race menu? That's something you use on your player character? Or is that something you have to kind of port into the game? Yeah, Bruma has hairs added by default. Nice. In race menu. That's awesome. That's really cool. A little on the thin side. I'll have to look at it. Oh, did you watch all the Moon Monk build? Yeah, that was good. I didn't actually do a build on it, but like a build guide on it, but I had a lot of fun with the playthrough. It got buggy because I was adding mods mid playthrough, and that's just something I'm just never gonna do anymore. That was terrible.
Anything you need, just holler.
It was a very beloved playthrough that had issues because I wasn't following best practices and adding stuff. Tell the guy in the Imperial armor your store cloak page. Very good, Hadring. Yeah, right? He's not the brightest. Oh, is that him? It might be him already. Yeah, it looks like it. Hey, buddy.
No time to talk. Out of my way.
Oh, you'll have time for me. You have some documents that I need. Nothing personal.
We'll see about that.
Okay.
I'll try and make
Never shies away from a fight. These Stormcloaks, that's for sure. But they have not much in the way of fire resistance, so... Oops. I love Shadow Dance. I think it's funny that of all the things that Triumvirate adds, all the amazing, interesting things and all the synergies and all the ways that it creates new build opportunities, that just being able to jump and like zip forward is still one of my favorite things from that mod. I love it. It works well in combat. You know, it's another one of those things that if your CPU is pegged, you might miss a couple jumps here and there. And if you're counting on being able to teleport from that jump, like out of the way of like an attack or something, you're probably gonna get hit pretty hard and be mad about it. But
Come on.
if you're using it for just pure mobility purposes, it works perfectly most of the time. Actually, Snowy Saber Cat. I might be able to use that for the basement. Let's skin some pelts on there. That teleport jump is great. I want to put it on a dark elf and make a nightcrawler. Yes, that would be awesome, right? It's really good. I have it hooked up to Okado's Recital all the time, so I can just jump in combat and just be able to just zip, zap, zip. But for a nightcrawler build, that would be awesome. Nightblade build, even. Actually, I'm not sure that the Nightblade officially uses alteration, but it doesn't mean you can't add it in. Because Shadow Dance is an alteration spell, Okado's Recital is also alteration. So if you're trying to do like a pure gameplay class based on the Nightblade, may or may not.
You're trespassing here.
Oh, Stormcloaks, huh? Don't tempt me with a good time. You'll get yours. Just you wait. Nightblade does use alteration. Nice. Well, since they don't use armor, then they probably need something for defense. There's all kinds of things that you can use defensively, though. Like illusion can be used very defensively. Alchemy can be used very defensively with the paralysis poisons. So you don't really have... There's ways to play it where you don't have a need for armor or a flesh spell. Nightblades use light armor? Not the Oblivion ones. All right. We have a conflict. Pause the stream. Let's look this up. Oblivion classes. Oops, nope. Oh, I misspelled it. Hold the phone. Stop the presses. Nightblade from Oblivion uses blades, block. Oh, wow. A lot more than I thought. Oh, the Nightblade Oblivion. I'm wrong. Mad Adam was right. How about that? I don't think the Nightblade in Classic Classes and Burst Signs Reimagined uses light armor, though, does it? I thought they were unarmored. I might be wrong on that, too. Now my confidence is shot forever. Nightblade doesn't use sneak in Oblivion? That is crazy. Alright, so the Nightblade is more of just like a kind of a spell sword that uses light armor then, I guess. It does in Classic Classes and Burst Signs? So the Nightblade that I was gonna do is gonna be like sneaky and then like not armored at all. So I got some rethinking to do. So I know that the Witch Hunter, he doesn't use armor and he also doesn't use sneak, which is a dangerous combo that also becomes very interesting. Classic. Classic Classes went back to Nightblade from Morrowind. Okay. That's where my information is coming from then, is probably just that mod. Where is it? Select class is what I'm looking for. It's a book. Nightblade. Major skills: one-handed, light armor. Interesting. Illusion, destruction, alteration, and sneak. Damn. One-handed, light armor, illusion, destruction, alteration, and sneak. So no alchemy, but it does use sneak. Light armor. That's still a really cool class. 10% harder to detect when you're sneaking. Hard to beat that. And then the Witch Hunter. Archery, destructing, enchanting, conjuration, alchemy, and lockpicking. So yeah, no armor and no sneak, which is a dangerous proposition. No alteration either. So you really have to use alchemy. Alchemy for that paralysis. That's the only... And no alteration for flesh spells or for shadow dance or anything like that. So yeah, alchemy is going to be heavily relied upon on there, and then conjuration for meat shields, conjuring Altronox and whatnot. Damn, this stuff is so interesting to me. I love it. Nightblade is your Shadow Mage. Yeah, pretty much. Although the Shadow Mage did use alteration. Well, no, we just established that alteration was. Yeah, pretty much. Shadow Mage did also use block as well, though. Not to say that you couldn't. You probably just want to avoid perking into it too heavily. Alright, where are we trying to go? Bring it to Legate Ricka. Okay. They're literally your Shadow Mage. Yeah, yeah. Oblivion did have block. Interesting. So classic classes in Versign Reimagined I thought was pretty faithful to Oblivion, but guess not. Took some creative liberties with making sure that these classes were fleshed out and interesting. So interesting, when I do a Nightblade build, I can't call it the Oblivion Nightblade. It'll have to be like a classic Nightblade or something. The warrior, though, will be an Oblivion warrior. Just because I think the warrior stayed the same throughout all the Elder Scrolls games. It's just all the warrior stuff. They changed Nightblade back to Morrowind because Nightblade description literally mentions sneak. Yes, it does. That's what I've noticed about some things in the Oblivion classes, is that it will mention things in the description that it then just doesn't use in the class, right? As either a primary or secondary skill. Which is probably why they decided just to completely scrap. Look at that little fox. Cute little guy. Why they decided just completely scrap classes in Skyrim altogether. It's probably because it was they either didn't like it or it became too much of a liability in Oblivion, and they realized that everybody was just choosing custom classes anyway. But I love a good class system because to me it gives you guidelines for more nuanced, unique playthroughs. It actually enhances the replayability of the game, other than limiting it, in my opinion, especially for an Elder Scrolls game. Where's Ricka? There she is.
Very good. Let's see what you have here.
I liked, what was it, Corey? I don't know that I've ever used that one.
It would seem
one of the Skyrim mods.
Is in need of reinforcements. We'll make sure they won't be getting those. One moment.
But they had no sneak in Oblivion. That's crazy. The Nightblade needs sneak. They need it.
Forged documents get to the Stormcloak
Disparity is just perfect for SE. What does Disparity do? I'm not familiar with it. Needs ported, but that's simple. It is just a Form 44 thing. If I use custom classes, I do it to increase survivability early, but I do it at the loss of extra powers. Yeah, that's kind of true. I like it because it gives me an in-game reason to focus early game on it becomes a snowball effect, basically. Right? So you get started early on the things that you need for that class, and then since they become like the meta, the most effective tactic available, you tend to just naturally follow those skills, and then before you know it, you have a unique, nuanced playthrough with endgame playstyle that is completely different from what you did in your last playthrough. Okay, let's check out this disparity mod real quick. Whoops, that's the wrong thing there. Let's shut that down there. Oh, for Pete's sake. Player, character class, race, and gender diversity. Well, this would be kind of a big lift if I've been so entrenched in classic classes and birth signs reimagined for so long. Does this require... The thing I like about classic classes and birth signs reimagined is that... Oh, and this is an old room one. You said it was easy to port though. Is that it's compatible with like everything. I haven't found a single incompatibility with it yet. Except for like weird little inconsistencies between like the monk class, which is supposed to be unarmored, and the fact that Ordinator requires light armor skill for its unarmed perks, which you can work around. Once you get that first unarmed perk, you can use punching to increase your light armor skill, so you don't really, you know, need it from the get-go. Compatible with everything? Nice. And are these all just custom classes, or are there pre-made classes? Stats based on body weight? That's crazy. I'm gonna have to like do a full pass of this. I don't want to read it verbatim on stream, but this seems really cool. Maybe in another. And I also like classic classes and birth signs reimagined because there's some familiarity with like Oblivion and Morrowind classes, right? Incompatibility with any mod that alters race records for the playable races. So Imperious will need to, so there's a patch for it. It's not depend on any vanilla records. Seems cool though. I have to say though, I'm probably more interested in Enai's Futhark mods coming up for if I'm trying to do like racial based classes. He's got some really interesting things in the works, like his Standing Stone mod, his new Standing Stone mod. Like each Standing Stone effect is different for every race, so every race has like unique Standing Stone effects that you can like base an entire build off of, and that's kind of the philosophy he's going with the rest of the overhauls too. So I'll probably have another profile for those, just because it'll be more easily compatible with everything. But yeah, at some point I'll branch out. That does look very interesting. Sounds cool. Where am I supposed to go now? Yeah, we're not... Hanzo is not into pretending to be someone that he's not, which is the whole reason that he left Hammerfell to begin with, because his country was going in a way that he was not comfortable with personally. Did I just hear a dragon? No, I think it was just the wind. Shit. Imperious is compatible. Okay. There's an Imperious patch. Okay. Probably built in because it was so widely requested. And I put that out in June. It's barely over 3,500 unique DL. Yeah, because it's incomplete. And also, I think people are pretty much dug their heels in what overhauls they like and what they don't. It's probably not going to get the same play that Andromeda is getting, or whatever the Vanilla Plus one is getting. At least until it's complete, and then by then Starfield will be out. I think Inai will have moved on to that probably before he moves back, so it's still a work in progress for a long time. but some of the concepts that he's doing is very interesting. And like I said, I feel like it is going to take the capacity and like potential for racially specific, unique builds to a whole new level. Like for like if you want like an Altmer warrior or something like that, that's built into both the race and the Standing Stone overhaul. For like unique ways to flesh out a build like that. There you go. See, I'm red, you're blue, but we can still get along, right? At least until we meet each other on the battlefield, but
Not a single man or woman in Dawnstone.
doesn't have to happen.
Days.
Yeah, I think most people with the Futhark stuff, they're probably only exposed to it if they regularly visit like the Reddit, the subreddit, or like the Discord channel, and those those communities can both they can be kind of chaotic. They're big, they're fast moving, and
Keep your eyes
they're not
open.
always the most friendly.
Is that so? I don't.
Is there a mod that
recognize
creates an
Why
NPC
aren't you
Dragonborn
wearing
and
the
thus causes
Stormcloak?
dragons to fly around? That would be cool, so that you don't have to play a Dragonborn character, but you can still kind of experience like the main storyline and all the dragons and everything. Reddit, yeah, I know.
I suppose it would be.
I know.
All right, let's take a look.
You know, you put the
good. Looks like the reinforcements
blinders
for the
on
fort
for
are on the
Reddit
way.
because you can
We
do
have
a
some
black
information
hole
about enemy troop movements as well.
of just bad stuff
It's
on
not
Reddit.
easy running messages, what with
But
Imperial
I found that
scouts
the
crawling all over the
Inai
place.
Scion
Hold on.
Reddit is actually
Why don't you
not
grab
that
yourself
bad.
a drink at the Wind Peak before heading
I
back.
promote a lot of my like build guides and stuff there, and I've had nothing but good responses to them. Surprisingly, I was expecting some haters at least, but I've actually been quite warmly welcomed there by the community, which is nice to see. There was already a following for some of my videos in the community there, so I kind of I had a good head start in the right direction with them. So it's not everybody's experience for sure, but yeah, it's been okay. The Discord traveling merchant, some nice clothes. I'll take his. The Discord is not nearly as welcoming. That's way more chaotic. The Discord, I'll promote my videos and stuff there, but not my streams, just because there's some bad actors in there that probably wouldn't be so much fun to hang out with in a live stream setting. But at least with pre-recorded videos and stuff, I can at least moderate the comments and stuff a little better. These are the same people that bitch about Reddit while also hosting their shit on Reddit. The majority, sure. I mean, with Skyrim Unbound Reborn, you can choose not to be Dragonborn, but have dragons in the game for added drama. Yes, you can, and that's what I do often. For Skyrim Unbound, I do like a random start. If I don't have a plan for the playthrough, if I just want to play Skyrim and see what the game gives me, I'll do a random Unbound start, like I did with the Permadeath series, and that was great. That was a lot of fun. But for like build guides and full playthroughs and things like that, for playthroughs that you have a plan for, sometimes it's like you need the dragons and you need Dragonborn status in there. And for build guides especially, you need to... Oh, there's a traveling
You're
merchant.
that one from the college. Heard about you.
Hanzo's got a name for himself. For build guides specifically, you need to be able to account for shouts. Don't need the troll skull. So pretty much anything that I'm going to have a build guide for is always going to be Dragonborn and have to go through the main quest line anyway. But I do like the freedom that it gives me to start the way that I want with Unbound that maybe Live Another Life doesn't give. Especially the freedom of being able to go to Helgen without starting the main quest. With Unbound, at least you can start the main quest exactly when you want to. Which is why I've kept it in my load order for these build guides and stuff. Okay, reporting for duty.
Your objective is Fort Dunstad.
Okay, Fort Dunstad. We're gonna clear that fort. That was the Stormcloak soldiers that accosted us on the way back from the Nightgate Inn.
Are you up to the task? I knew I could count on you, soldier.
Now we get to go give it back to him a little bit. I like that. Sorry about all the back and forth. Just kind of running the same stretch of road over and over again here, but I think we'll conquer Fort Dunstad and we'll call it a stream there. Getting close to the end of my... Oh, and we're still... we're still flaming for some reason. That's probably the Blazing Soul effect or something on there. I don't know. I would imagine at the end of the next battle, this will dissipate for us once we get some new effects going on me. Okay. Why am I not sprinting? Here we go. So we are booking it back to Dunstad. Got a bunch of Stormcloak soldiers to kill on the inside and the outside. So after this, I'll probably do the rest of the Civil War quest line off stream. And then for the beginning, I don't know if I'll do it in the very next stream or not. But next time we stream Scorpion, which might be sooner than later because I have more of a deadline to get the Scorpion playthrough finished off and get a build guide out. Because I need to uninstall Mortal Kombat 11. So we'll probably be focused on Hanzo here for a little while until we can cap off the story. But that story will be moving much quicker. So I think next stream we will pick up with the very next chapter. We're going to touch on what happens to Hanzo when he tries to return home, and then we'll kick off the actual Scorpion portion of the story, which I think will be great. Very much looking forward to playing through that. All right, boys. And lady. Let's go do this. Let's get in the middle of it. Get it started off right. Look at that.
I will destroy you.
I love the mobility of this build.
You call yourself a warrior? Come on, show me what you got.
Okay, now switching to spells to replenish stamina. just finishing off the last of them now. I guess I don't have the slide tackle turned on. Oh, I did turn that off later because I didn't want that to be like a tool that I used all the time. That slide tackle can be extremely powerful. It causes a knockdown for just the cost of a little stamina. So I think I turned it off for Scorpion. All right, you're just gonna stand there. Let me put you out of your misery. All right, who's in charge here? Are we all good? Oh, you're still just cleaning up the stragglers, huh? Well, let me see if I can flush them out for you. Ooh, Raya's got the good idea. Okay, they finally found him with the arrows there. All right, look at that. What's next? Just got to report back to General Tullius. Okay. Well, there we go. Making some solid progress in his Imperial Legion chapter here. I think that's going to do it for this stream today, but let me switch into TFC mode here so we don't get the nauseating spin. But I think we will continue this. So we're gonna keep focusing on Hanzo and Scorpion here until we can put a cap on this story and move on with something else. We can focus on the Steger. I also have the Imperial Juggernaut that I'm looking forward to getting started, and also maybe a Oblivion Warrior Let's Play. I'm looking forward to getting back to Let's Play content that's not live streamed and doing an actual Let's Play and not like the weird little narrative showcase that I was doing for the beginning of this series. I think that people didn't really take to that narrative style as much as I was hoping, but people seem to be happier with just a regular, natural, flowing Let's Play. So I think I want to do that with the Warrior, and then that will be manageable. I'll be able to record a lot of that at a time and kind of trickle out the content on that to keep the channel alive a little better. Something in the vein of Icarus, but maybe not as I'm not going to have something every single day, but maybe something every week or twice a week or something like that. More like Couch Warrior content. Yeah. Cool. Perfect timing making tacos. Sweet. Yeah, and I might have some pre-recorded stuff mixed in there. I think for the beginning of the next stream, I'm going to pre-record Hanzo's return to the Shirai Ryu Temple. And we're going to see sort of the atrocities that were committed there while he was gone for the Empire. And then also the quote-unquote death scene of Hanzo, and then he's going to be reborn as Scorpion in Oblivion. He's got to fight his way out of Oblivion, and then try to take his revenge. And we'll figure out like who planned to have him dead. And he's going to get revenge on that too. There's going to be a cryomancer involved, maybe the Dark Brotherhood involved. We shall see. Atrocities are my favorite. Yeah, it does sound cool, doesn't it, Caladran? And I was really excited for this playthrough too because there's so many cool story beats to hit on that translate really well in the Skyrim universe. That I'm really excited to kind of explore and play through all that stuff. Looking forward to it. Atrocities are my favorite. Yeah, cool. So no 27 daily uploads. Unsub. No, that's not what I don't. My real life does not allow for that. I think it would be cool to actually try giving the whole YouTube thing a shot to see if you could make it work. But no, I like my day job too much. It provides a good living for me, so I'm not about to forsake that in favor of like a YouTube living. That does not sound. I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it light, but I also want it to succeed. So trying to balance that. Yeah, I think this was a good episode. I had a lot of fun. I'm showcasing some of the things that Hanzo can do with his tool set in combat. I think it's looking cool. It's visceral. It's fast. It's brutal. and it's a visual spectacle. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to kind of showcasing that with some of his endgame Scorpion gear too, and doing some gameplay videos on that as well. But yeah, next time we're gonna get a very different look at Mr. Hanzo here, and I'm really excited for that. In the meantime, look forward to the Nemesis build guide coming out soon. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that next week, but if I'm able to hunker down and focus on it, that's a possibility. But definitely in the next 2 weeks, I'll have that out. And then the Scorpion build guide, hopefully soon to follow after that. And also, I might be sharing some of my live streams time with Starfield. That's going to be a huge obsession of mine. I'm not going to forsake Skyrim. Skyrim's still going to be there. I might try to, if I can make it work in my life, might try to do another slot on another day for Starfield, maybe Starfield Sundays or something like that. But I also don't want to step on the Wynn's feet either, because I know that she does some streaming. Starfield's going to be an obsession of mine. It's going to be a very big part, but Skyrim's not going anywhere. This is a Skyrim channel, but I want something. I want something for Skyrim or for Starfield, because I'm so looking forward to it. But yeah, in the next month or so, it's going to be very focused on Scorpion, and that Nemesis build guide is coming out very soon. That's all I got. Everybody have a safe weekend. Have some fun. Go out and play some Skyrim or whatever else you're enjoying. Be safe. Be good to other people. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye, guys.